All right, let's look at this Hogwatch here. Let's do a Stitch here. Let's watch this.
Tell me, why is Nancy Pelosi at the State of the Union?
Tell me why this dude is talking from like the other room. How do you get audio so bad?
Chris, I'm just confused.
He looks like he's talking on the phone to himself.
I don't understand.
Because it was the State of the Union address, and the President of the United States addresses.
This is not
lib talk.
Hogwatch.
This is the type of shit. All these clips come across my mom's TikTok feed. I sit and listen to her when she's listening to TikTok.
Your mom is on TikTok?
My mom, every time I tell her about a TikTok, she's already seen it. She's on TikTok all day long.
That's awesome.
She's retired and she's on TikTok.
How is she still so libbed up?
No, she like gets all. My mom is so libbed up because she's like she gets all the videos about like all the liberals like shitting on Donald Trump sort of thing. Like she's watching all those.
Okay, let's do Hogwatch, CPAC edition.
Hell yeah.
With Austin show. Hogwatch with Austin show. He will pay attention, I promise, guys. He's going to get off his fucking phone in a second. I hope you guys know, by the way, that everyone always says, like, I'm on my phone when I'm streaming or whatever. No, this motherfucker. This is how normal people operate on stream, okay?
No. I'm not. Hold on. By the way, my food's going to be here in just a second, so.
Yeah. And for the record, anytime I'm on my phone personally on stream is because I'm like, either there's an emergency or I'm like pulling something up that I'm going to bring to the table on stream in a second.
At this point, I'm going to have to ask you guys to leave.
Wait, it's here. I'm going to go get it.
Go get it.
I'm in DC this week for CPAC. If you saw my video from last year, you saw me getting thrown out. To my surprise this year, when I applied for a press pass, they approved me. So we're going to see how this goes. I expect to get thrown out like I did last year, but...
Austin mom chose gay son. Yeah, Austin mom watching TikToks. Gay son or thought daughter was like, gay son.
They did approve my press pass. It's only my second one.
Ah, it's addictive.
It is addictive.
You know what it is? I'll tell you what it is. It's time traveling. It's the way America
does feel like
used to be and should continue to be.
CPAC is like it is like time travel.
Yeah.
Lady Maga. So this is good. Let me make sure my mic is on here. A lot of people are saying we don't like LGBTQ, but you're here.
Find me a quote from a conservative saying we hate LGBTQ. I haven't heard that myself.
I've heard nothing.
That's crazy. Wait, what? Is she memeing? What's happening there? What? It's like a very prominent part of their platform. Like, is she all right? Austin is missing this. Wait, what? Yeah. Guys, don't make fun of her as ableist. She's deaf. She doesn't hear anything, okay? Let me tell you.
Conservatives. LGBTQ.
This is wild. Are they both there undercover? Like, what's going on? Yeah, I don't think she's undercover, dog. I'm still waiting for Austin to come back so he can hear this, but he's left the room. I don't know what the fuck he's up to.
But you're here.
Find me a quote from a conservative saying we hate LGBTQ. I haven't heard that myself.
I've heard nothing. Thank you.
This is my 4th year at CPAC, so people sort of say it's not CPAC without Lady Maga. So I just every 30 seconds I have people who follow me, who know me, who come up to me and share the love.
Yeah.
And they
like 90% of the Republican commentary in the last midterms was about how trans people are freaks that need to be put down, and that drag queens specifically are also like diddling children. What the fuck is this person saying right now? This is nutty. Actually insane to me. Okay, Austin is back, so I will run this one more time. You have to hear this as a gay man who is chomping on some fucking homophobic chicken.
No place. Good girl. Good girl.
But anyway,
Sit. Lay down. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Stay.
listen to this.
We're here.
Find me a quote from a conservative saying we hate LGBTQ. I haven't heard that myself.
No, I've heard nothing. Thank you.
This is my 4th year at CPAC, so people sort of say it's not CPAC without Lady Maga. So I just every 30 seconds I have people who follow me.
LGBTQ people.
CPAC speaker calls for eradication of transgenderism and somehow claims he's not calling for the elimination of transgender people. That was last year.
What an ugly son of a bitch.
Michael, yeah, he's also done some light gay work too.
Some gay work? He looks like it.
Why are you being homophobic?
I don't know what it is about this thing, but like sometimes when I see somebody conservative or homophobic, like doing homophobic shit, I become homophobic back to them.
That was
like,
crazy. You just said that like it just rolled off too. Like you just not a moment of like self-reflection in that one. This fucking F word. Like yo, my man touched he said once I touch this homophobic chicken, it's over. He literally fucking he didn't even stutter. He looks like a homo. That's what you said.
Well, he does. You know what I mean? He does a little bit. Kaya, go lay down. Go lay down, Kaya. Kaya, go lay down. No begging. Lay down. Lay down.
She doesn't. No,
Good girl. Good girl.
you were so mean to her. It's her birthday week.
No, she needs to. She gets all her stuff tomorrow.
It's her birthday week. and-
Hasan won't let me feed her.
no, of course not. Yeah. No human food.
He's the enemy. If Uncle Austin was babysitting Kaya, would you let me babysit Kaya?
Fuck no. Absolutely not, dude. I run this ship like the motherfucking Navy. I'm very strict with everything that she does all day, every day.
You think she would? You think her?
You would break her.
Really?
Yes, she would.
I would give up. I'd probably order her Chick-fil-A too, so she wouldn't bother me while I was
you
eating.
literally would like.
I would just
You'd
order.
let her eat like an entire bar of chocolate.
No, I wouldn't do the chocolate. I know dogs can't have chocolate. You're running this place like a dictatorship. You're a fascist.
I'm 100%. I know you wouldn't give her the chocolate personally. You would just eat a chocolate and leave it on the ground as you normally do. And then she would eat it. Yeah, I have hella fork.
Oh, thank you, Jesus. Okay.
Who know me, who come up to me and share the love. And they appreciate what I do because drag is not intrinsically sexual or explicit or vulgar.
That's so cool that
They have the right take.
yeah, that's cool that it's like Chick-fil-A was the #1 spender on LA City lobbying this year. City of LA agencies, damn, dude, whether they lobbying to make sure that fucking chicken is even more homophobic, because let me tell you, they deserve it, okay? They still deserve it. Funded by Austin. Yeah, Austin is directly lobbying LA City at this point.
It can be a lot of fun.
Oh my God,
So-
say that again.
Yeah, drag itself is not explicit. It's not explicitly vulgar or sexual. For me, it's just theatrical. I get to embody a totally different persona, work on the costume, bedazzle things. You know, my face is a palette that I get to paint this on. So it's art for me, and I want to reclaim.
It's just funny because, like, obviously drag queens aren't mentally ill, except this drag queen is, because she got that conservative dog in her. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be literally mentally insane to think that you can say the correct things about drag, which, you know, he's right on, or she's right on, right? In persona. But also simultaneously act like conservatives recognize those things. Like, you're crazy.
That in the world because Drag Queen Story Hour drag queens twerking in front of children. It's deplorable. It's absolutely unacceptable.
Why do they feel compelled to even have to defend that narrative if not for the Republican Party? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you see the irony here? Like, she's literally sitting in a convention of people that
make that claim.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, but while also simultaneously claiming that they don't do that. Conservatives don't do
which
that.
is so. But the whole it's so ass backwards. It's like the whole reason that she has to make that claim is because her own party is the one that made that claim.
I don't know if this person is trans, by the way. I think they're a lot of drag queens. I mean, drag queens can be trans, but a lot of drag queens are just cis gay men.
Is it appropriate? I always lead with they.
I just go with whatever. Like I go with she when talking about drag. If they're a drag queen, if they're drag king, I say he.
If I have any doubt, I go they. Like when I see a dog or an animal of some sort.
You're so woke.
I mean, well, the difference.
No, I'm serious.
Can't believe you just compared.
No,
that's fucked up. Did you guys see that? Comparing trans people to animals?
No,
wow.
Come on, Hasan. That's not what I mean.
Wow.
No, and first of all, it's not only trans people that use they, them pronouns, okay?
Wow.
Okay.
Wait, like a group of people use they, them pronouns as well?
No, what about non-binary people?
Non-binary people are trans.
Oh.
Yeah.
I knew that. I was just quizzing you.
No, okay.
Good job.
Yeah. Okay.
You get to keep your job.
You just did NB erasure. It's not a big deal.
No, are you
Okay.
kidding me?
You know, you shouldn't have LGBTQ people, you know, near, you know, you can't be open and within your identity in front of children. I mean, you're here, that's fine, but there's no kids around. You know,
Well,
if you
I've
did
been
this,
to-
if
I've
you
been-
did this, if you wanted to read a story to children, you know, I would have a, you know, there'd be more of a problem with
Well,
that.
the thing
if you
is-
wanted to, you know, teach at a school or something, and
No,
you
if
know,
I were in the public school system, the children would never learn about my sexuality or my personal
yeah,
life.
you keep that like
And
you keep that like separate.
I do, of course.
Yeah, you wouldn't dress like this at a school.
No.
Oh my God, no. That's our only thing.
I've been to a lot of rallies where there's people of all ages there. I always am dressed like this, very tastefully. And so if people ever have questions, I just say I'm wearing.
Yeah, she's saying all the other, she's being just catty. She's like, all the other bitches are tasteless. That's what the problem is. Yeah, real tasteful.
Wearing a costume. I could be Spider-Man or a unicorn tomorrow.
We're not anti-LGBTQ. The media makes up this whole narrative. We just don't want you, you know, being in this identity, like in public where there could be kids around.
Well, I've been in public a lot of times at rallies and things in Utah.
With like, and there's kids there and stuff?
With people of all ages.
Dressed
I
like
don't
that and-
approach them. I don't try to indoctrinate their children. And if people do want to take a picture with me, I always say, okay, mom and dad in the middle.
Okay.
I always keep a very professional distance. But I would never go into a library.
That's crazy that like she just doesn't get it. And it's so fucking awesome. This is peak conservatism, okay? Not getting it while you are the it is like the most conservative shit I've ever seen, okay? Like, just genuinely, I do not understand how you can live your life, okay? I do not understand how you can live your life being the thing and have all of this lived experience and not understand all of the people around you straight up being like, no, you're wrong.
No,
like you are.
They literally think they're talking about other drag queens.
Yeah, why not around children? You said it's just theatrical and not vulgar, right? You self-hating queen. Exactly.
Or a public school.
Thank
and
you
try
for
and
that. You know,
indoctrinate
thank you.
children. No, absolutely.
We just don't want, like, stay out of the
Absolutely.
libraries, stay out of the schools.
Who's doing drag in a fucking
and
public
stay
school?
out of children's.
Yeah, honorary mention. Every black Republican is also, I mean, that's another great example of people being like black Republican speakers of CPAC being like, guys, I'm here to tell you, like, no one around me is racist. And people in the crowd are like, no, we're racist. Like, nope, see, not a single one. No, we are racist, actually. We only like you because you're one of the good ones. The rest are bad. We're saying that. See, can't hear a single. I do not hear a single racist word uttered in this room, in these hallowed halls.
And
You
by the way,
understand?
no offense. Who the fuck wants to take their kids to a drag show anyway?
Yeah, I think
This isn't like who the fuck wants to take their...
Let me tell you, Portland.
I mean, maybe Portland.
That's it.
Maybe
That's the
Portland,
one-
Oregon.
Yeah,
Everybody's
Portland, Oregon, liberal parents with children named Sock. That's who wants to take their.
That's a very Portland thing to do for sure.
Yeah.
Kid's named Sock.
But it's like, even then, it's not like it's not like a weird sexual deviant thing at all. It's like I read it in the same exact way that I read like Mrs. Doubtfire or fucking every Disney movie. You know what I mean? Every Disney movie, the Disney villain.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very, very, very stupid that for people to like reframe this as like something that is, something that is like indecent. It's not. I don't give a shit.
Programming.
What's most important to you as a voter?
I think the border has to be number one.
It is the number one.
I
So
fucking lose trust. Yeah, she's at the CPAC too, mate.
Is she really?
we're actually looking for people that have a personal story about the migrant crisis. Like, how has it personally affected you? Has anything happened in your life?
No, I couldn't say. I could say that I used to be in a trade that is completely taken over by Hispanics now. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing.
Damn, why is that not a bad thing? Seems like you have a issue with it.
What's
But
which one?
Flooring.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So like those subcontractor work
Exactly.
has been. All right. And
If you want to be a foreman in a big flooring shop, you need.
Bro said Hispanic with so much energy, he might as well have shortened it to the word. You know what I mean? Like, Hispanics have taken over my industry, my trade. Listen, La Raza, they call it.
Or
They're
maybe-
doing salsa hips at lunch break. Everyone's eating tacos. Back in the day, we used to eat Spam. My trade been taking over La Raza.
Speak Spanish. In this area, foreman in a big flooring shop, you need to speak Spanish. In this area.
What's wrong with speaking Spanish?
No, it's just so funny that he's like mad about this, but it's like, yeah, dog, it's because you're, it's because you want to hire, it's because you want to hire Mexican people for the most part. That's it. Like, that's just most likely because you want to hire undocumented people for a lower price point. That's it. Easier to exploit. Remember that guy answered no, unfortunately, last time on the border? Yeah, it's awesome.
in this area,
Yeah, and it's driven the wages down. So that's probably as close as I have to a personal experience.
Immigration is destroying this country.
Yeah. We're looking for people that have
fuck
personal
you, you
stories
fucking
on
prick.
immigration. Like, how has
Fuck
the migrant
pauses.
crisis personally?
It's like, bro, this dude is literally like 22 years old, okay? When you see a young Republican like this at one of these conferences, know that immediately that's a fucking Nazi, okay? Almost the entirety of the party. That's why Ron DeSantis was like popping with like younger demographics in the Republican primaries. It was like very strange phenomenon. They're like, why the fuck are people voting for Ron DeSantis? It's because like all the Nazis were claiming that he was going to do like Nazi shit.
This
They
guy's
are
totally on Grindr too.
every one of these like under the age of 65, under the age of 40, let's say, young Republicans is all motherfucking groiped up shouties, okay?
Affected you?
Well, in my community, the people that work at these restaurants and establishments, they do not speak the language and they do not assimilate. They are here for a job. They are not here to be Americans.
How?
Hold on, but there's no national language.
Also, no, not only that, but also like, dog, he asked, how does that actually affect your life? And you did not describe how this has affected your life at all.
The language? What do you mean? There's no language. There's no what fucking language, you fucking dipshit?
No, and it's also dumb as hell. This is like a completely made up thing, okay?
They're coming to our country and making a...
It's like, dude, your dad is like a real estate mega developer, okay? You've never seen the back of a kitchen. Shut the fuck up. Okay? He's making it seem like he's going to Applebee's and the waiter the waiter is like, "Oh, well, I don't speak any English whatsoever." The only place where what he's saying would be correct is Miami. Exactly.
Yep.
And it's like, yeah, that's Miami, dog. That's what it is.
And even then, fucking, why didn't you get your ass and fucking take Spanish classes, you stupid fuck?
Oh, don't tell him that. Telling an American to learn a second language, you might as well shoot them. You might as well take them out back and put one in the back of their dome.
Maybe it's a good lesson. You should try to learn how to speak. I had a fucking 45-minute conversation in Spanish with a Cuban Uber driver in Miami last weekend.
Oh God!
I mean, I was wasted, but I mean, we had a great conversation.
Really?
Yeah. He was. I mean, we were. It was broken. It was 45 minutes, but we were chatting away. He told me he married. Actually, honestly, I don't know too. I couldn't understand a lot of what he was saying, but I was trying. And we had he had moved here from Cuba with his wife that he had been married to for 5 years. They were separated for a brief period of time then he moved here. No, I'm sorry. He met. This is where the translation was a little sloppy, but. He met her in the United States. They've been married for 30 years. He told me he liked boobs. That was a good part of the convo. Yeah. He said teta. He went like this. He went like this. It was pretty clear. Anyway, but yeah, learn another language.
Anyway, let's continue.
Have you been personally affected by the migrant crisis?
A couple times a week we have trucks coming through our neighborhood and they ring the doorbell, soliciting. Our neighborhood is not supposed to have solicitors, but they ring the doorbell, and then you see the big pickup truck with like 8 men in it.
I'm so confused. What is she saying?
What is she fucking talking about?
They're ding dong ditching in my neighborhood. It's a Mexican ding dong ditch, though. It's very different than when white kids do it. What the fuck is she talking about?
What are they soliciting for?
I don't know. Sometimes they have a lawnmower. Sometimes they don't.
Bro, she's like, I hate up and comers and small business owners when they're Mexican. She thinks she's being gang stalked. Yeah, no, people probably literally landscapers looking for work. They're like, hey. Your bushes look busted, lady. You want me to fucking whip this shit up? God damn, I wish I'm pissed off at my landscapers. I wish I had fucking other landscapers ding dong ditching. Fucking hire them in a heartbeat.
You don't even have grass, Hasan. How could your landscape? What, are they going to mow your turf?
I have the fucking the hedges.
Is that it?
That's it, yeah.
So they want to work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this
makes you. How does this make you feel?
Well, like I'm being invaded, which we are.
Like you're being dude, greatest invasion of all time. Dudes who are trying to outcompete everyone else at doing hard work, hard labor that your ass is not going to do yourself anyway. Damn, dude, what an invasion! Please invade me harder, okay? Oh, the horror. Oh, the horror. That's crazy. Americans are so fucking privileged that they think like an invasion equals not boots on the ground military warfare in the way that we did to Afghanistan. But when motherfuckers come to your house and they're like, hey, would you like most likely cheaper work? That's insane to me, okay? It's my favorite thing is like there's the same narrative exists for white genocide, right? Like obviously there are very real genocides that have occurred throughout history, and that usually involves the systematic ethnic cleansing of a population, and not when people are consensually having sex with people of different races. That is not a genocide. That's just people having consensual sex with different races. That is called miscegenation, and it's been perfectly legal in the United States of America. No matter how hard you want to fucking stop it.
They come up to your house
it's my
and
personal space.
Do
Do
they have a lawnmower, or they have like a lawnmower?
Right. No, like whatever. It doesn't have to be the
gardening.
big
Walter does this really well. He does like he'll go to like conservative hog stuff, and hog conventions and then like just ask them some questions.
Yeah, but he won't.
And present himself as like also a hog a little bit.
Yep.
And they reveal so much beautiful information.
Equipment,
Right,
and
sometimes.
stuff.
Sometimes.
And then
Sometimes
they're asking-
roofers or whatever.
And they want to work.
Yeah.
And they're
well,
like, no, but they are they like kind of pushy about it?
I wouldn't say pushy.
They're quite polite. I just hate that they're Mexican. Like, dude, I love the honesty there too. At the end of it, she's basically like, well, the only thing I really hate about it is that they're brown and Mexican, I think. And that's what is really fucked up. Lady, that's not an invasion. There's no polite invasion happening. You know what I mean? Fallujah was not polite.
Because I'm not really the type of person that would tolerate that.
Well, we know why you wouldn't tolerate
Yeah,
that.
exactly. What I tell them is, you're lucky that you came to my door rather than my neighbor's door, because, when you say, he's ex-Secret Service or he's a veteran and...
Wait, what do you mean?
What, they're gonna
my
kill
neighbor
him?
would kill you?
Yeah.
Like what?
The fuck is it? Yeah.
Listen, I'm racist, but my neighbor, he's so much more racist.
Ex-Secret Service, notorious for just killing people for no reason.
Like, why would... I like that she's just like giving the game away while simultaneously just saying like, oh, my neighbors are way more racist than me.
He doesn't take the doorbell ringing lightly, because what I'm really saying to them is, you have disturbed my entire day.
Dude, this is, by the way, this is the mindset of just
That's
like...
so crazy.
No, Americans are insane. They complain...
They have a fantasy of killing people.
Yes.
That come to their door.
They complain about like how we are no longer a country. Like, where's the sense of neighborhood and some shit all the time. And then they talk about how they want to fucking use a rocket launcher the first time the fucking doorbell rings. It's like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
Fucking psychos.
Right? And soliciting is illegal per our HOA and per even like on my window next to my front door, I have a no soliciting sign.
She's gonna say, but it's not in Spanish, just trust.
But again, they don't speak our language.
Told you.
And I'm not gonna put it in Spanish. It's America.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I know my hogs and hogalinas. I speak the language, okay?
Dude.
I speak fluent hog.
Dude.
Yep.
What's one of the biggest issues you have as a voter going into the
Immigration.
Illegal immigration. Illegal immigration. Getting American jobs.
Crystal mommies are so in right now at CPAC too. Like, look at that. That's a crystal mommy. That's like crystal mommy. Here's my read. Cold read. Crystal mommy got converted during COVID, lost her mind, still is a crystal mommy, but definitely like super right wing, major anti-vaxxer.
And guess what? Americans will do anything for money. Take your usual Puerto Ricano. They'll do anything, darling. Just pay them in cash. $6 an hour.
Do you have a personal story about?
Yes, I do.
Shocking that she knows that Puerto Ricans are American.
Yeah,
so that's good. That's like, that's interesting. Still racist towards the Puerto Ricans, by the way.
What the fuck?
Like, she's like,
they don't work for anything, brother.
Them Puerto Ricanos, they do anything for $6, okay? Which is insane. Also, this lady does have the Giga Chat jaw. She's about to be like, she's about to fucking hit that.
Do you think she
mewing.
smokes cigarettes?
She's mew maxing. What's that song that? Bye bye. Does anyone know what that? I gotta play that. Does anyone know that song that's like popping on TikTok? The mewing song. Let me see if I can find it. Hold up.
She kind of looks like a. What do you think her profession is? You're playing.
They did a
I wanted to Ice Whore is the song. This is not the Yeah, this is it. Look.
getting American jobs And guess what? Americans will do anything for money. You take your usual Puerto Ricano, they'll do anything, darling. Just pay them in cash. $6 an hour.
Do you have a personal story about?
Yes, I do. My daughter, she was raped by illegal immigrant. She didn't even want to go to the police. I made her go. They did a sketch.
The fuck?
Oh, spoke only Spanish and rough workman's hands. Yeah, right.
How do we know that he was like undocumented?
Okay, because when I took her to the police, when she didn't want to go, the policewoman said definitely.
Okay.
And you know what she told me? The policewoman said, you go up and down the Rio Grande. There's bras and panties of girl. I was lucky to get her back, honestly.
Lady, you are hallucinating. You think mass rapes are occurring up and down the Rio Grande Valley? Like, dude, you think like the fucking men and women crossing the Rio Grande Valley, which in a treacherous trek that is like very deadly, are doing it to what? Go to the nearest fucking gas station to like steal a white woman only to bring them back to the fucking side of the Rio Grande Valley to do rapes? Like, what the fuck? What? Just literally walk through the logical steps of this argument and it will immediately fall apart, okay? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, this is a reward for making it across the river. It's like so unimaginably racist. But even if you were unimaginably racist, like if you had just any fucking synapses firing up there, you would have to just think this through for a moment. Just for a moment.
Probably a white flavor trade.
How have you been personally affected?
Oh my God, he's cosplaying as Donald Trump.
Wait, I think he just looks like that. Wait, she thinks there's a white slaver trade? Like Guatemalans are coming over the Rio Grande Valley to enslave white people?
It's probably a white flavor trade.
How have you been personally
He's got Donald Trump's hair and everything.
I think he just looks like that, bro.
affected by the migrant crisis? Like, do you have a personal story?
Unfortunately, maybe for your audience, I don't, but I have.
I love when they say unfortunately. It's like, bro, unfortunately, no, I have not been raped by a migrant. Yeah, shit. I really wanted to be a fucking victim here. Let me tell you, I wake up every day and I'm thinking maybe today a migrant will rape me. And unfortunately, it has yet to happen.
Daughter and a second daughter who are going to be living in Manhattan, and I dread, something happening to them. I think that's.
Dude, what the fuck? Yo.
The last thing that you got to be concerned about in Manhattan is a
migrant rape.
Migrant crime against them.
What the fuck? Dude, these people think cities, like, these people genuinely only watch TV and think that, like, there are mass atrocities occurring in the city.
Dude, you're right next to the Canadian border. Even if it's all bad, it's all fucked. Every corner of logic is flawed.
They legitimately think that like cities are always like in the throes of crime. Like there's just people running around and shooting people in broad daylight or some shit, which is ironic because like if you look at the crime statistics, like rural areas that dumb fucks like this are from unironically have a higher rate of gun violence and violent crime in general. That's the most hilarious lie that is always channeled in mainstream media. The notion that like cities, some of the wealthiest fucking cities on the planet are actually infinitely less safe than the rural areas in red states. It's crazy. I don't understand. I genuinely don't understand how people can be this whipped up into a fucking frenzy.
That's where a more potential problematic situation could occur. I think obviously in a lot of, you're hearing the urban horror stories. Trump has, I think, accurately labeled it migrant crime. It's a new category.
Communism.
It's communism. And they're even having law enforcement, illegal aliens as law enforcement. I mean, you can't cook up.
He's like, did you know 52% of Customs and Border Patrol is Mexican? Which is true, by the way. I mean, it's not Mexican, but Hispanic. Guys, Guys, they're calling it La Migra. They're saying Chinga La Migra while they're actually Mexican themselves. That's right. Law enforcement has been taking over. You heard about them Uvalde cops? Half of them are Mexican.
Up how insane this is, and yet there's musing of a Gavin Newsom for president candidacy.
Are you saying that there's police officers that are undocumented?
Absolutely.
Wait, where is this?
In California, where my youngest daughter is in
his daughters are 100p not going to be cooked like this. Okay?
No.
You know he hates. He's going to become
daughters are so embarrassed.
Yeah, he's going to be increasingly more. His daughters are probably in here right now, okay, watching the fucking HasanAbi broadcast, going, "Oh my God, not dad. Oh, that's so embarrassing." Okay, the more his daughters like want to live in Manhattan and shit, the less they call him, and the more he thinks this is a fault of communism.
Yeah,
communism is what separated my daughters from me.
Santa Clara. In certain areas, they have maybe not completely.
Actually, you know what? I think I heard about this. It's one of those things. So, anyone from my audience, Google 40% cops, and I think it's you see like the statistics of how many of the police officers in LA are undocumented. I think it's like 40%.
I would say
cops.
don't Google it because you're going to get a false read.
The cartels, they're smart. They operate.
Yeah, you are.
Don't Google it. It's all fake.
Yeah, when you Google 40%.
Everything's fake, except what Trump tells us.
When you Google 40% cops, you find a very different reality.
Trump has access to all the truthful information.
Do you know what that meme is, by the way? You don't, right?
Yeah, it's the 40% of all cops are abusers, right?
Yep, domestic abusers in a self-reported study, mind you.
They realize that it's much more cost effective. Instead of just putting a backpack on a migrant, what they will do is
they do a January 6th insurrection pinball machine, by the way, which is awesome.
Will take, a white, well-presenting American citizen and have them go through ports of entry and get it through there because it's, this is a business.
It's like a holiday for them.
They're going to get the most bang for their buck. And that, it's like, what do you do with regards to that? Because at this point, you have fentanyl has become commonplace.
Yeah, absolutely. Fentanyl is a big problem in this country. I live in Montgomery County, so we see on the news that they're putting Narcans in schools and stuff like that to stop overdosing. But the cartels themselves, we need to designate them as a terrorist organization because the problem is all these people who are coming in, all these illegals, aliens who are coming in, they owe money to the cartels. And we have the deportation process, everything working. I think we need to the United States needs to put a travel ban on Mexico until there's...
It's so cool that the Democratic Party is capitulating to like this mindset. It's just completely, we are getting dumber and dumber. Every moment
ban on Mexico.
Every moment that we concede to reactionary thinking is a moment we're leaping away from the truth, okay? We are looking at dudes who are just hallucinating, not enough oxygen to the fucking brain, and we're going, maybe we should hear these guys out. The narrative is just entirely made up. Every single person that comes over the border owes money to the cartels, actually, and they're all working at the behest of cartels. It's like, dude, 96% of fentanyl trafficked over the fucking border goes through regular ports of entry. It's also 80% of those people are American citizens, I think. 80 or even higher than 80, I think. It's fucking white guys smuggling it in their cars. It's so dumb. It's so fucking stupid.
Those cartels are destroyed because...
Well, that was the thing. I mean, so we just vetoed the immigration bill that was put forth by, it's the Democrats.
I think you mean migrants. Yeah, I love that. The migrant crime is pretty funny. It's so stupid. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, what was it?
No. He's saying Biden migrant crime. I call it migrant crime.
No, I saw it. No, and then Jon Stewart made a bisexual joke or something about it.
Oh yeah, you are lived up.
No, I love Jon Stewart. I've been watching.
Catching up on Johnny Boy.
Yeah.
And Republicans. You had Lankford. You had Kristen Sinema. Kristen Sinema.
You like Jon Stewart?
I wouldn't really call. Well, she's not a Democrat.
Yeah,
She's an independent. But at the end of the day,
I think he's a bit lived up. I have my criticisms of him, but I still, he
I think
he
he's
still
perfect.
carries a lot of weight for his old work and how important he was in my development. Don't put your arm on it because remember that one is like unstable.
Okay.
she's kind of like, she rolls with us, and it was vetoed. And I had mixed feelings about that. Part of me, there's a part of me that's like, I don't want Biden to solve it. I know it's a really big problem, and I know it's going to affect us immediately, but I kind of want to be able to run on this issue. Trump's not going to have anything to run on if this is solved even halfway.
So here's what Trump can say. So Trump can actually advocate for the travel ban on Mexico.
Badly the cheat goes because the illegals that are flowing in are being strategically brought in to potentially game the election. The migrant crisis, which is really
like this dude's opinion is a 1-to-1 with a Nazi, by the way. Like, but when you say that, people go, "What the fuck do you mean? Like, how is that?" Like, dude, he literally thinks that we are personally trafficking brown people into specific neighborhoods to make the neighborhood less white. Like, that is a psychotic, straight up white supremacist take. Many questions to be asked here. One, first of all, who's doing the directing? Okay. Secondly, what is the issue with a neighborhood being less white than it previously was? Okay. These are issues to investigate, really. Like, what do you mean? You got a problem with like there being less white people in a neighborhood? Why the fuck do you care? What the fuck?
So you said racist Herman Munster.
a crisis by design of illegals being forcibly let in by the Biden cartel. You won't hear it from anyone but me. No other person except Charles Hurt has called it what it is.
It's the great replacement theory.
It's a great replacement theory, absolutely, and it's also an attempt.
Is that a Nazi?
Yeah.
And he doesn't know what it is, and then he just
No, he's been told about it from Tucker Carlson, so he thinks it's like probably permissible to say, and that's the issue. Like the issue is like these guys don't even fucking understand that like what they're saying is a 1-to-1 to what Nazis said. No, he legitimately thinks this is a normal take because in his circles it probably is a normal take.
By the powers that be to flood America with dependency, creating a one-party rule.
I mean, the southern border right now, it's like our replacement.
By the way, 100%, America would not be the fraction of an economy that it is without a shit ton of migrants, okay? And I'm not even talking about like undocumented immigrants or anything like that. Obviously, they are the reason why we even have an agricultural industry. But the reality is, like, even birth rates, for example, the reason why the United States have been able to avoid the top of the hour ad break, or just kidding, not the top of the hour ad break, but like aging out its population in the way that like Japan and some of these other significantly more restrictive countries are running into genuine problems is a consequence of migration. That's it. That literally is what keeps the American industry alive, what remains of it. It keeps the American population young. It's so stupid. Anyway, but if you want to keep the momentum going at the top of the hour and not see a 3-minute ad break, all you need to do is subscribe for $5 or for free. Here's a 3-minute ad break now.
Population is, this is the fall of Rome. It's like they've literally taken how Rome fell, and that's what they're implementing.
It's a great replacement theory.
Wait, Rome fell because of migration? What the fuck? What?
What is he talking about?
I don't even know what he... I do love this. First of all, if this motherfucker saw what a Roman looked like, he'd be like, them Mexicans! Wait a minute! Them Mexicans were over there in Rome too? What the fuck? Why are they fighting the Germanic tribes? I feel like they're the ones. They're the real whites.
Theory.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because now they've imported millions and millions of people who know how to live without running water, electricity, and grocery stores. So when they collapse the dollar and the grid goes down and everything else because they're trying to run electric cars after...
Tucker Carlson just made the same point. There's a post about it on. Oh, Tucker Carlson recently said Rome fell because of unfettered migration. Is that what he's saying? 34 MKD50. Thank you for the 50. Get the subs.
I need a Diet Dr. Pepper. Do you have any?
Do I have a Diet Dr. Pepper? No, I don't. Wait, what? Why would I have a?
I don't know.
I have a bunch of other stuff though.
I want Diet Dr. Pepper. You want one?
No, I don't like Diet Dr. Pepper. I don't like Dr. Pepper.
More for me.
Oh, here it is. Tucker Carlson recently claimed that the Roman Empire fell because the Roman military, its legions, became dominated by non-citizens who, in the end, because they weren't loyal to Rome, turned it against Rome citizens. Bro, Rome, literally, the Roman Empire is a fucking empire. This is the exact opposite. I'm losing my mind. Dude, what is a real Roman citizen, brother? What the fuck's this guy saying? Suffice it to say, nobody's taken halfway seriously as a historian would ever propose that Rome fell because of immigration, though there are those who still hold that it was the attacks of the Huns and Germanic peoples that were the decisive factor in Rome's demise, but to equate armed invasions with immigration is disingenuous in the extreme. The fall of Rome has long been used for political purposes. It could be argued that the fall of Rome is due to the wealthy patricians using their clout in the Senate to give themselves tax exemptions, which in turn help them. The Gauls didn't cross the border crossed them. Yeah, what the fuck? It's like, okay, first of all, whenever someone tells you, here's why the Roman Empire fell, understand that you're talking to someone who's just repeating something that they've heard. Because the Roman Empire fell for like 400 fucking years, okay? What the fuck are we talking about? Which Roman Empire is the first question? Are we talking about the Byzantine Empire, which is the official fall of the Roman Empire, 1453, best year of my life? Or are we talking about not the Byzantine Empire, and that's a separate one? And regardless, the notion that like the Roman Empire fucking fell for one reason is always so unimaginably dumb. You're talking about like a continuation of like what, 1,000 fucking years? Like, get the fuck out of here. Equating armed invasion with immigration is disingenuous. It is true the late Roman military made extensive use of the so-called barbarian troops recruited from the outside of the empire's borders. Prominent examples could have Vandals. Yeah, I think Sean literally made a video about this.
And a worthless currency. There were hardly any women, children, or elderly. No, they were mainly young, military-aged males who.
Anyway. I have a degree in classics that focus on Rome. If you ask 100 historians about the main reason for the fall of Rome, you'll get 100 different answers. But there is no one reason for the fall of 1,000 years existing empire. That's why my point is like, which fall of Rome? How did Rome fall? Like, which Rome are you talking about? But let me tell you, if there's one consistent principle in the existence of Rome, it is that it was diverse. That's the hilarious part. It's like, bro, stop. You were almost as bad as them. What do you mean? I'm saying that it is infinitely more complicated than specifically pointing to one factor. But there's two things that Rome definitely was. Well, I guess period wise, it differs a little bit too. Being gay as fuck, okay, and also being super fucking diverse. So like the idea that if you were to point to each of these fucking principles as the fall of the Roman Empire, you're an absolute baboon. Also, I feel like they're in a way almost like, I don't know. I feel like they're falling to like Roman propaganda almost. Rome isn't the only empire. People act like China, India, Africa didn't all have empires that fell for different reasons. It is not useful to equate Rome with everything. Yeah, FYI,
fell because of DEI.
Brother, I'm Turkish. Why are you telling me this? FYI, calling it the Byzantine Empire is disingenuous. They never called themselves that, and they called themselves Romans. A more accurate name is Eastern Roman Empire. The term Byzantine came as the West wanted to appear as though they were the true inheritors of the Roman legacy. I know.
Isn't DEI the diversity thing?
Yeah.
That's what they claim.
Yeah,
That's
Rome fell to DEI, brother.
Yeah, DEI.
They shut down all the coal plants and everything else.
Do you have a personal story about how the migrant crisis has affected you?
Not so much. I'm retired now. I mean, again, I was a welder, power plant stuff. So I mean, I've never had a. I mean, in the construction industry, they pretty much taken it over, I will say.
And if you look at the birth rate or the population increase, this is the highest increase in population we've ever had, and it is almost entirely due to immigration.
It's been
Well, yeah, really bad thing. Why are you saying that as if it's a bad thing, dog? Also, the irony of like being a young groiper like this is that you're never gonna fuck. You are literally permanently turning yourself into an unfuckable loser, so you're never gonna fucking replace the white birth rates either. You are contributing to the decline of white birth rates by being this groiper loser, dude.
He's on Grindr for sure.
Fucking dummy. I swear. Did you order something else?
I ordered
There's no way it came this quick. What the fuck? Oh, never mind. Delivery. Do they make the same at the Groiper factory? They all look the same? Wow, racism. The real racism right here.
This guy's on Grindr.
Increase in population we've ever had, and it is almost entirely due to immigration.
It's been crazy with dealing with it in my county. We had a homeless shelter that, you know, they were using it to house a few migrants. So we got the entire shelter shut down.
Cool.
And yeah, and
yeah, now they're living in the street. Nice. I mean, not like that. We should kill them.
they were started, you know, we had the building evacuated, and then they were like camping outside in tents because they had nowhere to like live. And you know, we had to get the police to come in and sort of, I don't know, tear gas them and get them.
There you go. Cool.
Yeah, and get them out of the county.
Cool.
Oh,
that's one way to go about it.
Yeah, and so I mean, it's a win-win because it's like we didn't want a homeless shelter in our county in the first place.
Well,
you know,
I mean, you have some people that are going to, you know, whether they're veterans or whatever, who
if they're veterans,
they find themselves in a bad circumstance because, you know, a lot of people come back from that kind of thing and they're not quite right and they don't quite fit back into
for veterans. But
I mean,
otherwise, it's like, you know, we're not a socialist country.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, especially with these illegals, they don't have a place to stay. Stick them on a boat back.
My family owns property by the border. I'm not going to say where. And, you know, we have people that I think.
Why, like, these people's logic, like, America was, like, around when Jesus, like, America didn't exist. It's like, according to them, Jesus only loves American citizens. That's, like, according to them. Sorry, I'm just trying to add insightful commentary.
I think they're migrants. They came across the property and, you know, we shoot at them or we defend ourselves.
Okay.
Let's not say,
because they're trespassing.
Yeah, and I'm worried that if Biden gets reelected, the Democrats are going to prosecute me for this.
Defending yourself.
Yeah, like, I mean, because it's like,
protecting your land.
Yeah, it's like, I can't say that I've never hit someone.
Right.
You know, but it's,
Right.
and yeah.
Well, I think it depends on which state, and of course, I know you're not going to say, but you know, it depends. You know,
She said your secret's safe with me, is what she said.
I think in Texas, probably they would, you know, be fine with that. But
throw me a parade.
Yeah, exactly.
So do it from Texas.
Not so much California or New Mexico, and you know, who knows where Arizona
So I mean,
stands.
so the moral of this story.
This is random, but I think Oregon has they've got stand your ground laws in Oregon. So just because the state's liberal doesn't necessarily mean that they don't have laws on.
Is if you want to shoot
is that right?
You know, illegals on your property,
Doesn't
do it
Oregon
in a
have
red
like
state.
super insane stand your ground laws or something?
Yeah. I mean, you know, I mean, that's where we're at right now.
No, I know
it's a
it's
mess
not-
right now with regards to freedom of speech.
It's a good point.
Right? I had a family member that was thrown in jail for his political beliefs.
Oh, believe me, I've been hanging by a thread. I've had the FBI been to my house twice.
So, you know, the FBI came to his house. They confiscated his ice cream truck, all of his guns. They shut down his factory. All the kids that work there are totally unemployed. And now his wife can't visit him in jail because she's not 18.
You
know,
I know a lot of the J6. There's several organizations that have booths downstairs that are trying to help the J6 families with, like coming into town for trials, hearings, and whatnot.
The J6
I've been working with some of them because, like I say, I just thank God every day that Chris Cox had me inside the ellipse. Like at the White House.
Oh yeah.
So when by the time I got out of there and got to the Capitol, everything was already over with. I mean, I marched around a little bit outside.
There's a lot of suspicious stuff there. I had a lot of friends that were inside the Capitol, and they saw a lot of suspicious things going down
His
when
name
they were
is literally on his fucking badge. Look at that.
in Nancy Pelosi's office, when they were going around the Capitol, and so there was a lot of shady people there that day.
Oh, there were a lot of plants. I mean, like I say, you got the whole Ray Epps thing. I mean, they had FBI infiltrators.
They confiscated his guns, his ice cream truck. Now that he's in jail, his wife cannot visit because she's not 18. And they shut down his factory. Like, you have all these unemployed kids. It's a mess.
It's a mess.
Yeah.
And there's honestly, if things don't go the way I want it in 24, I've decided I'm leaving. I'm leaving America.
Where would you go?
Probably South America.
What? She said she'd leave America and go to South America, which is
Straight to the source, baby.
straight to the house.
Sorry, I was looking for nail polish remover because my nails have. I was looking for nail polish remover, chat, because my nails have gotten out of control, and I went into my mom's closet. She's like, I'm going down there, see how they like it. See how they like it if I migrate to your neighborhood.
Probably Argentina.
You don't even have freedom of association.
So, like, I have, people being jailed for their political beliefs.
Yeah, or being debanked.
Yeah.
People are debanked, they're deplatformed,
Yeah,
they lose their jobs. There are certain people in this country that if you take a picture with them and you post it, you will lose your job.
He's talking about Nick Fuentes.
Uncle was jailed for his political beliefs. They took away his ice cream truck, confiscated his guns, and now his wife can't visit him in jail because she's not 18. And this is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, the politicization of the government is just a travesty. And these laws, it is all about selective enforcement. And it's like J6. There are laws on the book, and they're like, okay, let's take it to the fullest extent. Let's really see what we can do. And on the flip side of the coin, it's like we have laws on the book, but we can't deport these poor immigrants. They're people just like us.
Yeah, totally. Famously, we don't deport any immigrants. in the country. We're always going, they're just like us. We can't deport them.
Wasn't Obama like the most
deporter in chief? Yes. This is why it's like it's nutty to ever like cave or concede or capitulate to the right-wing fantasies. They literally live in a parallel universe where it's just completely made up. I found the Proud Boys Gab account, posted his sick-ass ride. Wait, no way this dude's ride is like... You're just making this up, right?
His name was on his card.
Oh, did you actually find his Gab account?
I pointed out the fact that his name was on his fucking...
Oh. Got the Bape.
Wait, Miz and I almost bought that car yesterday. Not that exact car, but it was red. I'm not even kidding.
Imagine that picking you up as an Uber. I thought he was like
the HH.
If he's actually from like a poor fucking family, I'm gonna lose my mind, dude. Because like I thought that look screams like a child of a wealthy small business owner.
I'm not buying that car, guys. Come on, come on. I'm not buying that. Y'all know I'm not buying that.
All right, let's get back to the video.
trying to get a good job. And I'm totally done with it. But I will say, I respect the Democrats because they play to win. We do not play to win. We play to lose, and then we throw our hands up and say, oh, imagine if the roles were reversed.
Rhinos.
Wait,
Huh?
hold on. Wait a second.
Yeah, we need to kick all of them out.
No, they don't.
Matt
The
Gaetz is a
fucking
real
Democrats,
patriot,
that's
real
the
American
one thing they do
patriot.
wrong.
Met him multiple.
It's literally the opposite.
It's the one thing they do wrong.
No,
is they don't play to win.
The only way you think this, is if you're just like a straight up Nazi, I think. Because
they're not winning hard, they're not racist enough.
They're not. Yeah, you're like, because the Republican Party does actually give you everything you want. The fuck do you want? Like, at least it's in the direction of the things you want. The Democratic Party only claims they care about the things that the voters actually want.
This guy needs a fucking swirly. We need to fucking just shove his head into a toilet.
Wow, you're pushing for political violence against your opponents. Classic Democrat. The real violent ones are the Democrats. No, I'm saying that's what he would say.
Yeah, it's so violent to give you a swirly.
I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you on that front at all. It's the type of kid
to give me a swirly.
This is the type of kid who just like genuinely thinks that he's, alpha dog because he says that.
I wonder if he wants to compare Grindr accounts.
I don't know. I think he would win the fuck off.
Oh no,
he might win the suck off.
No, he couldn't even get it up.
He
looks like
he seems like you're scared.
No, I'm not scared of that
Seems
shit.
like you're scared of his.
Now that's a selfish top right there. That's
Seems like you're
a
scared
selfish
of his
top.
prowess, dude.
That's a selfish top, right there. This is what people want me to be. This is what you think I am. I'm not. That's a selfish top.
Doors open.
Is that my?
No, bro. It's my fucking food. And the guy's like, "What the hell is he saying?" I just saw him on camera, and he's like,
"Oh,
what
you just heard me say."
Yeah, that's a selfish top, is what he heard. He's gonna fucking. Everybody has a time come when they got to take it all for themselves for more money. Okay.
Couple times. Great guy.
I met him too.
Yeah.
He is.
People think you're a pedophile. I don't think you're a pedophile at all. I don't think he's a pedophile at all. The charges against him are totally false. They're totally false. Oh my God.
We love Matt Gaetz.
Yeah, we do love Matt.
That was such a banger video.
Gaetz, very, very good man.
It's just everything there is a mess.
Oh, this is my favorite bar. Okay. This is my classic child beauty pageant. Every conservative that constantly talks about like child predation loves child beauty pageants.
Oh God.
And will defend it unconditionally.
My daughter does beauty pageants.
Okay.
Great. Fine. But now they've gone woke as well. There was another fourth grader that came in, and they were wearing it was another fourth grade girl came in, and she was wearing a rainbow bikini.
Okay. All right. Making a statement, I suppose.
Yeah, and it was
a fourth grader.
A fourth grader, a rainbow bikini of all things, and I was like,
because they don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care who they hurt, who they sacrifice.
Yeah, and it was ridiculous. And people say like in her
defense.
My
favorite part about it is that they don't care about the bikini.
No, it's the fact that it's rainbow.
Yeah. No, that's like the most telling part about
that's so funny.
They never go, oh, a bikini? That's weird. Nope, just the rainbow. Which basically reveals, Hasan, you're a fat bitch. Dude, I am the skinny kid right now, okay? Oh my Lord, you don't understand it, son. Come at me any other day of the goddamn week. Maybe come at me 2 months ago when I wasn't feeling so fucking fresh, so hot. But coming at me right now, ooh.
Yeah, look,
son.
I used to call him a fat bitch every day, but he's not a fat bitch anymore.
Okay, well, that's mean.
All right?
That's mean. Okay, why would you?
He's slimmed up. All right?
That's crazy that you just said that. Okay, that's fucked up.
It's past tense. It's not mean anymore.
Oh, okay.
You're a skinny legend.
Oh, I didn't realize that's how you felt about me.
No.
How was the fitness journey?
Why do you think I would never invite you to the gay bar?
That's insane.
I'm just kidding.
That's insane that you're just.
I'm just kidding.
Lying
I've never perceived you as fat. Okay.
I was though. God damn, I was.
Chat and look.
You might not have perceived me as
chat,
such.
Here's the deal. Whatever Whatever your body, your choice. I don't care what anybody looks like. As
The
long as you,
fatties.
no, look, I don't.
Bro, you're too gay. Don't lie.
I think everybody's beautiful. I really do.
Don't lie.
No, I'm serious. Like everybody.
Austin, you have never had sex with someone over 10% body fat.
Okay, I'm gonna shut the fuck up. That's not true.
That's 100% true.
That's definitely not true.
Damn, this is 6 ounces right on the.
That's actually true.
God. Yeah, you have literally never.
That's not
You've
true.
never fucked someone with 11% body
No,
fat.
I have.
No, okay.
Between 10 and 15%.
That's sure.
What about you? No, hold on. This isn't fair.
Wait, what?
This is not fair.
What do you mean?
Men traditionally carry less body fat percentage. This is a homophobic argument.
I love my tubby ladies. You're out of your fucking mind.
No, and I love big, beautiful women as well, but I don't have sex with women, right?
Yeah, but you don't.
This is a homophobic. This is a heteronormative homophobic argument, folks.
No, the point is you don't.
He's like, you've never fucked anybody over a certain body fat percentage because guess
That's
what?
not true. That's not true.
Because women tend to carry more body fat percentage because they bear children. And they're beautiful, and they're natural, and they're gorgeous.
Austin is so gay that he doesn't realize he's saying women are just fat.
No,
like he's saying you fuck fat women because women are fat all the time.
That's not what I said.
You have literally reached peak gay right now.
That is not what I said at all.
You just said that.
No, women are not fat. Women are beautiful and natural. And
fat.
No women can be. I mean.
Go ahead.
There's some people that could be.
You are crossing a dangerous boundary. Go ahead. No. Go ahead. Some women are fat. Is that what you're going to say?
No, I don't think any women are fat.
So being fat is a bad thing.
No, I don't think it's a bad thing at all.
So what's the problem with fat women? Why do you have a problem with fat women?
I think fat is a slur.
No, that's not the proper way to say it. On International Women's Day, on Women's History Month, this man is a fucking menace.
Y'all know, everybody knows I just won the argument.
I don't think anybody thinks you
just got cooked in front of your audience and you're embarrassed.
This is the funniest cope. No one agrees with you.
Oh, well, it's not hurting anyone. But it is because it distracted everyone. It distracted my daughter when she was trying to do her dance
I don't know what the
routine.
fuck I was
She
trying
nearly
to say.
fell
Okay.
off the pole, and it was disruptive.
Absolutely, because it doesn't belong there, because it's inappropriate.
My daughter, she does child beauty
problematic?
pageants. Recent pageant, my one of the contestants, from the 4th grader, one of the girls.
Wait, go back.
Was a boy?
Well, no, she. And it distracted my daughter when she was trying to do her dance routine. She nearly fell off the pole, and it was disruptive.
Absolutely.
I dropped some. Careful.
Oh, one chatter says something that's really cool. That's actually pretty good. Walter does watch. He's a HasanAbi head. So here's a trick. Here's another rhetorical good one for you, Walter. Next time, talk about how wokeness has ruined child beauty pageants by saying that your daughter had the stars and bars bikini, like the rebel flag bikini. And how they wouldn't let her wear the rebel flag bikini, but they let the rainbow bikini
Is
go
Walter
through.
in here?
I don't know if he's in here right now, but he does usually. I know he's a HasanAbi head, so this would probably get to him. That's a great one, dude. Good job, chatters. The whole like.
Hey, thanks for the sub. He's an Austin head.
That's a great one.
Oh shit!
What?
My Dr. Pepper's here.
Okay, go get it.
Because it doesn't belong there, because it's inappropriate.
My daughter, she does child beauty pageants. Recent pageant, my one of the contestants, from the 4th grader, one of the girls.
Was a boy?
Well, no, she wore a was it rainbow bikini, to like the bathing suit competition.
That's indecent.
Yeah.
That is horrifying. Yeah, the woke alphabet mafia wants us all to be debaucherous sluts.
Distracted her from her dance routine. She almost fell off the pole. It was disruptive.
Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
But Lady Maga stands for decency.
Yeah, and
Lady
I'm
Maga
glad
doesn't
that
need
people
to
like.
indoctrinate.
Yeah.
And your daughter, just tell her that if someone's wearing a wig and makeup, they're still a man. There's no such thing as a man becoming a woman.
Yeah.
Thank you. They go through a lot of procedures, but there are two genders, no matter how much makeup you're wearing.
Yeah, there's two genders, there's two pronouns, there's two.
Exactly.
Yeah. Daughter does child beauty pageants. It's gone woke. Someone came into the pageant.
Someone told me they have 14-year-olds, trans boys, 8 girls.
No, well, they had someone there that came in with the rainbow bikini for the bathing suit competition.
Oh.
And it was like distracting.
Yeah.
And like my daughter almost screwed up her dance routine. They nearly fell off the pole that she was, and it was like, oh my goodness. And I was like, why is this in this space?
Yeah, well, you're making a political statement that has nothing to do with the competition.
Right.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. It permeates everything and is everywhere. And I don't know, why can't we just let kids be kids?
Let kids be kids.
And one of the things that the College Republicans of America is intending to do is create a better College Republicans that is more effective, more fiery, and more conservative than at any other point in our history.
My God.
Because right now we need it more than ever. We look at what's happening in our country, all across our country, at how the left is taking over our institutions of power, how the left is taking over our universities, our schools, and College Republicans are the number one way that we can strike back.
Like the unfuckable loser convention, dude. Holy fuck. Sit.
Back in the day, college Republicans and young people who became Republican usually became that way through one specific method, through their parents. They were brought into it by their parents, by community members, by people that they personally knew. Nowadays,
they make it sound like a cult.
Nowadays, young conservatives find their views, find their way of thinking through the internet, through social media, through the influence of current events. And college Republicans didn't adapt to that. Back in the day, college Republicans were something that you could run like a Model UN club. It was, you go there and discuss tax policy, discuss how we can improve our GDP, and it really stayed there. It didn't move on from there. Nowadays, the conservative movement and the Republican Party is more than just a discussion over specific tax policies. It's a cultural movement for the soul of this country. We are taking back this country.
You want to talk about wokeness? I have literally lost debate rounds at state competitions because I'm white. I have been rallied against because I'm white. I'm a man. I'm a Christian. All of these things, I'm a Republican. Try telling a young person, especially a young woman, that you are conservative. It will be the end of the conversation.
It'll be the end of dating.
Yes, yes. I mean, if you have enough charisma and you dress well.
Called it, baby.
Oh, man. Holy shit.
Called it. There it is.
There it is, right there.
I told you. Oh my God, it's so perfect. Like, I've lost debates because I'm a young white Christian is like, there you go. There you go, dude. So much of this resentment coming from one place, dude. Losing debates and not getting pussy.
Well enough, maybe you get around it, but there's only so much my suit can do before she's like, oh, you're a conservative. So yeah, this wokeness, this indoctrination, they're using our children against us. They're pulling the rug out from under us. We can't afford to live. And if
it's a communist takeover. I mean, you have these, I'd say, communist companies like BlackRock and Zillow buying up all these properties to raise property values. Now you can't buy a house in that area.
Yes, I personally think that we should ban corporations or hedge funds or investment banks, large corporations, from owning single-family homes. I'm not necessarily opposed to wealthy people having multiple homes, especially if they're American citizens, but foreign nationals, foreign corporations, and corporations in America should not be allowed to buy up these houses. It's a decade-old private equity trick where you buy up all the local firms in your area, you buy up the family-owned businesses, you shut them all down, you consolidate them. They do this with hospitals as well. In fact, Rick Scott got rich off of doing this. He bought some hospitals, did a merger and acquisition, shut them down.
Yeah, I try not to talk about Rich Scott, but yeah, he makes our side look really bad. He's like a grifter.
Exactly.
That's something that sounds bipartisan, putting local laws in place so that you can't just, buy up these properties, as a way to park your money, foreign or domestic.
Yes. And it's the monopolization of real estate. Real estate is one of the largest financial sectors.
Most of the millionaires are real estate millionaires.
Right, exactly, like Donald Trump. But Donald Trump built useful real estate. These corporations like BlackRock and Vanguard.
Dude, that's awesome.
That's insane.
It's just, this is what happens when you're
useful real estate, like what, hotel?
Your
and
entire
casinos?
Your entire politics is just driven completely by spite and also hallucinations. Or you can use this as a trash bag for all the trash you have over there.
Okay.
Also, give me those napkins. I'll use them.
God, you're a hoarder. Actually, you're a strategic hoarder. Like you collect silverware and napkins.
Well, I don't want to throw it out. What the fuck?
No, you're strategic. No, it's very strategic.
If it comes with the meal I have, I don't want to throw it out.
You're saving.
They just buy up single-family homes, they consolidate it, and instead of being able to buy a house, you can only rent it.
I know it costs a lot to buy a home now, but you can go on Jeff Bezos' new app, and you can, for $100, you can own part of a home.
Oh, yes. You will own nothing, but you will be happy.
Yeah, you'll be on the happy. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about world.
Are you ready for the new world order? All right, come on. We got to play it. We got to play it for Austin. He's probably never seen it. Does anyone have it?
What is it? I have a drawer for silverware.
Does anyone have the song?
And I have a stove, too. Take that, liberals.
Hell yeah, brother.
I have a gas stove and a gas oven. Hell yeah, brother.
Austin, have you ever seen this?
Nothing and be happy. Are you ready for the new world order? You have given all of your power to me. Are you ready for the new world order? Because you are too afraid to live free. This is Klaus Schwab, and I'm here to say you must give more of your rights away. Your sacrifice is the only remedy for the real pandemic. We must prepare an angrier world. As Agenda 2030 is unfurled. You will eat the bugs living in the metaverse. You will comply and it will get worse. Are you ready for the new world order? No more human rights or borders.
It's all the grievances and fears that conservatives have about the World Economic Forum.
Oh, okay.
Which is bad because it's a liberal institution, but not bad because they think it's a communist institution. And what's really funny about it is that they talk about, the guy is complaining about the metaverse in this, saying oh, they want us to live in the metaverse. It's like, bro, if you made this video, you already live in the metaverse. What the fuck are you talking about? You've never left your house. Yes, I have to explain the joke. He's a boomer, okay? We have an elderly millennial amongst us here. I have to describe it.
World Economic Forum.
Yeah.
What do you think about Joe Biden's whole student loan debt forgiveness plan?
It's a total scam. It's a total grift. But you have to admire the gumption of the Biden administration because they ultimately do not care what the Supreme Court says. They don't care what the Congress says or what the Senate says. They're going to do what they want. So you have to admire the fact that they play to win. Because ultimately, when student loan forgiveness gets blocked, it looks bad on us. Oh, you don't want to help out the rich trust fund kids or the kids that got into a liberal arts school and took out hundreds of thousands in debt. That's ultimately what it is. It's paying off the voters. And if he does not pay off the voters, it looks bad on us because they're going to spin it as, oh, you don't care about the common student, you don't care about kids. And that's not the case. What we need to do is decrease the cost of inflation, or decrease the cost of education.
It's like a Reagan thing, where Reagan was the one who, killed, these state schools being free. My thought was reverse some of these Reagan-era policies. If state schools are free, then every other school has to compete with that because there's this free option.
If you think about it, Reagan really did lead us on this path. He implemented a lot of liberal social policies, and if you want to have like a conservative economic policy, you have to have a socially conservative society.
What
liberal
new
policy
conservatives
did
like
he
hating
start?
Reagan now?
Amnesty.
No, he's a fucking Nazi, bro. That's why he doesn't like Reagan.
Jesus
Reagan
Christ.
was also a Nazi, but it's pretty funny that he's like, yeah, I don't really like Ronald Reagan because, see, he's saying no-fault divorce.
What's no-fault divorce?
In this country, you can just like divorce your partner without actually, making like abuse claims and shit. That's what he's upset about.
This guy seems like a real joy.
Yeah, he also talked about amnesty for migrants, which Ronald Reagan did do, which is something that he hates, I guess.
No-fault divorce. He was not very good on gun control and gun legislation. He was very free global trade, which hollowed out the interior of this country. And like I said, I'm from Kansas. Like the only jobs out there are manufacturing, hard labor. It's
no fault divorce. Isn't that like
huh?
after 60 days or 90 days you can get a no fault divorce?
Well, no-fault divorce means that you can literally divorce someone for no reason, and it essentially removes all of the merit and all of the meaning behind.
How else would you develop such a well-informed, diverse, global perspective?
I love this guy openly just like the people complaining about no-fault divorce are so funny. It's like, no, dude, that's insane. Like you sound like a fucking psycho.
Look, sorry for those of you from Kansas, but I mean, admittedly, you guys made it. You guys are the few that made it out.
He's mad that women are not hostages. Like, that's insane, dude. You can't. This is just as out of touch as like. This is just as out of touch as like advocating to ban recreational sex. Like, no one is going to agree with you, dumbass. You are so insane.
Having a marriage. Once you are married, you're supposed to be inseparable. Your two flesh become one. Marriage is supposed to be for the purpose of procreation and for a family. What is the incentive to get married? It's no different than dating someone, but having a piece of paper to say that you're dating.
No wonder nobody wants to date him, because he tells this date. When I get married, I see it as our flesh connected, and we can never separate.
No, he's openly admitting it. He's openly admitting it's a hostage situation.
Yeah, what the fuck? No wonder.
He's like, what's the incentive to getting married if it's the same as like if they're gonna leave me? Like, that's what he's saying. Out of his mind.
Dating them. If you are not comfortable with making a lifelong decision, don't get married. That is what marriage is for. Honestly, Reagan's like neoconservative libertarianism has started to hollow out this country. If you want economically conservative policies, you need a socially conservative people. And through socially conservative policies, we will engineer
So socially conservative policy, like ending no-fault divorce?
Yes.
Ending...
I'm very, very pro-life. I'm fine with certain exceptions, you know.
He's not very pro-life. Very pro-life until marriage, okay? at which point I am no longer pro-life. You are mine. You are my property. He wants state-enforced girlfriends, like literally, like state-mandated weddings, marriages.
Rape, incest, abuse, that makes up a marginal amount of cases. It's 1 to 2%. I'm fine with conceding that on a case-by-case basis or danger to the mother, but ultimately we need to prioritize the lives of our children, the lives of our family, and the lives of our community members. We are not the World Bank. We are not an economic zone.
No more money to Ukraine.
Yeah.
No more money to Israel.
Yeah. I do not want to send aid to any country. Okay. We are not the world's police force. We have the Second Amendment. We have 2 oceans on either side. Canada is essentially docile, and...
Oh, yes.
You wouldn't get the treats you love if it wasn't for American imperialism, okay? I hate hearing left-wing talking points being bastardized, and you say you should really be supporting National Socialists, not these commie scum. Yeah, it's these guys are not going to go anywhere in the Republican Party. They've always existed. They chirp and chirp. It is a change. It is a sign of the change of times, though, that there are more prominent voices that are populist in their economic policy, but also still insanely nationalist. You know, a national socialism, if you will, which is not socialism at all because they care only about the nationalism. You can't be like, oh, I'm anti-corporate and also pro making sure the state at gunpoint enforces marriages as a contract. Anyway.
We can build a border wall, and we would essentially be we would be impregnable.
So you go to school, it's a college, so you said it's pretty liberal.
Yeah.
And you don't really get flack until what?
Until we do our chalking on the sidewalk. So for those of you who don't know, chalking is where we essentially advertise for our club. So whenever we do that, we tend to have a lot of people that we'll see pouring water all over our stuff. And we've had a lot of issues with people writing obscenities over the things that we write on the sidewalk. And then facilities management has to come and power wash the sidewalks, which is not only a waste of their time and the school's money, but it's not a good look for anybody.
So what's currently in the curriculum on your campus that you're like, all right, this is not education, this is indoctrination?
I don't really know if I can speak to that. So I'm an engineering student. Okay. So a lot of our stuff is science and math. Okay. And a lot of that's not, it's not up for debate. It's pretty objective.
You know, so I'm dealing with my daughter right now.
Of course he is. It's so funny because obviously this is Twitch and it's like pretty STEM dominated as a platform. So all of you motherfuckers know a guy exactly like that one who think that like humanities are a waste of time and then never understand personally why they don't quite get how society operates because they have this like insane, in their minds, hyper rational, autistic way of approaching everything. STEM perverts love Jordan Peterson for that reason because he bastardizes sociological concepts to suit the needs of a right-wing conservative framework. So they're all like, oh, he's so brilliant.
Her school is trying to teach her consent.
How old is she?
That's a great question. How old should she be for her to learn about consent? What's an appropriate age for a child?
She should be learning that stuff in school to begin with.
Yeah.
I understand there was a sexual ed class. I took one. But that should be the limit of it, just one class and when you're a senior or something like that.
Maybe a senior, yeah.
Yeah.
She should learn about it as a senior. Thank you. They're teaching my daughter about consent at her school. Consent.
For what? A tranny operation? What?
If someone touches you, oh, you can't do that. I don't consent to that.
Christ. Oh, Jesus. Get a life.
Yeah,
Back in the 60s, I'll tell you what, we steamed up the windows of some beer with some heavy necking, my dear. I'm 72 years old. I can tell you all that I did consent.
Yeah.
It was my choice to consent.
What? What the fuck?
Lady, you are a victim. I don't think you understand. I think you would literally benefit from consent education at an early age, it seems. She literally openly, this is why a lot of right-wingers like hate sex ed, because sex ed is where a lot of kids learn that they are being predated on, because like children don't know what consent is and what's right and what's wrong. But rarely ever do you hear someone go, yeah, you shouldn't teach children about consent because back in my day, I got fucked by my gym teacher and I liked it. Like, you know what I mean? That's insane to say.
How old do you think a girl should be before she learns about consent?
30. $30. That's it. $30. That's it.
Oh my God.
You know, but honestly, I wish I had been there because I would have popped that son of a bitch like a cockroach.
Yeah.
When did she learn about it?
It's the guy that. You remember?
No, she's saying she would beat up the teacher that's trying to teach consent to children at sex ed.
Wait, I thought she was talking about the guy that, because her daughter. Remember what happened?
No, that's not what she's talking about.
Okay, I'm losing track.
Yes, this is the same lady. You're right. That talked about how her daughter was raped by what she alleges is an undocumented Mexican.
Can I have a little bit of that pita?
No.
Okay. No, I don't.
Take it.
Just a little. Just a little.
Take it.
No,
Take it. It's so good. Here's some hummus too.
No.
Oh, come on, you got. We got to dip it in the hummus.
It's the bread of my people, or not the bread of my people. The.
It's so fucking good.
Oh my god, hummus is Lebanese, baby. Is this Lebanese food?
It's Mediterranean. It's Middle Eastern.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
so she was just like learning about it
look on my
this
Wikipedia.
year.
I was born in Beirut.
She's 13 years old.
Oh, see, I think that's wrong.
My daughter, the school that she's at right now is trying to teach her consent.
Consent.
Consent. Consent.
Like sexual consent.
Yeah.
At what age?
Let me ask you.
That doesn't really even matter.
What's an appropriate age to teach a person about consent?
That's a good point. I don't think the school has any business teaching that. I actually, when I was in high school, I debated in favor of comprehensive sex ed, but now we fast forward about.
Bro, this guy's entire life revolves around high school debate club. You know that's a motherfucking destiny head, dude. 100p. Motherfucker's probably in here half the time. I'm sorry. This is 100%. Never have I ever seen a dude so in the pocket, okay? Started following after the chicken and waffles Nick Fuentes conversation. And then was like, well, this guy actually really has a lot of good ideas.
6-7 years later, and comprehensive sex ed has turned from, like you should wear a condom or you should know birth control, which I don't believe in those things, but it's turned from that and a sort of social liberalism to teaching kids how to masturbate in 6th grade, pardon my language, but these are the people doing it. These people are indoctrinating them into gender ideology, telling them to mutilate themselves. If a person says that they're suicidal, why would you give in to them? Mentally rational people.
Yeah. When someone says they're suicidal, you're not supposed to medicate them, okay? You're just supposed to say, no, you're not. And then even maybe put them near a ledge and go, see? Go ahead, kill yourself. You can't do it, pussy. I don't believe you. That's what you're supposed to do when someone's suicidal. I am not a medical professional, but I know. What do you mean you're not supposed to give in to them? Like, what take is this? Are you supposed to be like, you encounter a suicidal person and you're supposed to what? Not give in to them as in and be like, no, you're not. Go ahead, prove me wrong. Like, what is this argument? When someone says they're suicidal, say no balls. Bro is anti-life in every capacity. Oh my God! Someone said you're supposed to debate them out of it. If this dude, this is the 13th reason why. Okay, this motherfucker shows up, tries debating you at the ledge. You're done. You're like, oh, dude, I'm killing myself now with purpose, like beyond the suicide itself, because you've made things so much worse.
Do not think about taking their own lives. So it makes no sense to give into an irrational person's demands like we have done with gender ideology.
Oh my God,
what do you think is an appropriate age to teach?
He's unironically saying, like, if someone is suicidal, you're not supposed to, like, medicate them or offer them health care. Like, what?
your child about consent?
Well, I would say that that's probably the parents' job, not the school.
How old do you think a child should be before she learns about consent?
I think that like consent for a sexual activity. Why are they
Like,
discussing that?
exactly.
Maybe high school? Maybe like 15, 16 when, I don't know. But it definitely should not be in an elementary school, and that should be only a conversation between parents and their child.
I've never had sex ed in elementary
an
school.
investigative reporter, and I have my own clothing line.
Did you have sex ed though?
Yeah, in middle school and
Wait, really?
not even middle school, high school. I had sex ed in high school. Wait, no, maybe I did have sex ed in grade school. I was a 5th grader, maybe.
It's probably like very different than the sex ed that you got in high school, though, right?
I forget what the I don't know. Well, it didn't work for me. Clearly, they didn't teach me nothing about like
gay sex.
Yeah, gay sex. There's
Well,
nothing taught
I
about
wonder
that.
why. This
Yeah.
is literally the reason why.
I had to learn it all on my own, folks.
It's so funny.
Believe me. They tried to make me straight.
Dude, you know what's funny? That's like 90% of their grievances is like, oh, you can't teach sex ed because, oh, you're trying to teach gay sex to children. And it's like, dumbass, there are gay kids. Like, it's about understanding your own sexuality.
Hasan, I need to go meet somebody for lunch real quick.
What?
Yeah, but I'm gonna come back. Are you mad at me?
No, I'm not mad at you.
I'm gonna come back. How long are you streaming till? Like 8?
Probably not. Wait, how long are you gone for?
No, I won't be gone that
Are you
long.
staying here tonight?
No,
Where are you staying?
at a hotel. No. Like no. It's because
Is it Miskiff? Be honest.
no, I'm not.
Are you
staying
meeting
at
up?
Miskiff. He lives in Texas.
Are you seeing Miskiff?
No, I'm not. Okay, so
Are you
here's
going to leave to go FaceTime him from a
I
restaurant?
don't want to disclose too much, but basically, last time I stayed here before I had a morning flight, last time I stayed here before I had a morning flight, I drove. Whatever. My flight was at fucking 9:30.
Oh, you were staying near the airport.
Yeah, my flight was at 9:30, Chad, and I got to the airport at 8:39. And I had to check bags, which is a 45-minute cutoff. The loop in LAX was so fucking packed. There's a loop in LAX. Terminal 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, Tom Bradley, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and it's in a horseshoe. I had to get dropped off at Terminal 7 because he couldn't get around, and I had to sprint.
They don't believe you. They're saying you're 100p meeting up for the grinder day.
No. This is a platonic thing that I'm meeting up for right now. What?
Fucked up, dude.
Chad, come on now. Sometimes gay people meet up for friendship.
He's getting a midday suck off.
No,
dude.
I'm not getting a midday suck off. All
He's
right.
He's trying to get a fucking midday.
Now tomorrow,
suck.
on the other hand, I'm gonna have a great evening.
Can't believe you.
All right, guys, I'll be back. I'll be back in a bit. Won't be that long.
I see how it's going on. I see what's going on here. All right, get out of here, Austin.
Okay.
Oh, fantastic.
Get out of here.
My name is Natalie Winter.
I'm sorry
Yeah,
I
my
did
resume
not
died.
recognize you.
Thanks,
as
man. I don't
my
want your
daughter's
Dr.
being
Pepper.
taught consent.
Consent.
Like, sexual consent. Like if I touch you and you say, I don't consent to you touching me.
Well, I would say consent is a good thing in the sense of you shouldn't touch people if they don't want to be touched.
Well, what's a good age to teach a child that?
Yes. Well, I think what you bring up really goes back to this long march through the institutions that is really designed to, at the crux of it, destroy the nuclear family, right? And the way they do that is by pushing these very, very, I would say, just, it's not even woke and weaponized. Truly, I think, honestly, satanic. I think we're in a spiritual war, and I think they push these just very...
It's wild that she had me in the first half. I was like, oh, finally. I was like, oh, finally, like a conservative who's not utterly unhinged. How? What? Like, how can someone be normal for that, like, 3-second barrier only to become the most insane person you've ever encountered? I genuinely don't get it. She was like, yeah, you're right. I think consent is great and it should be taught, which is, why I think that the pedophilic elite are working with Satan, who is gay, by the way, and fucking that young rapper boy, Lil Nas X. That's right. That's a real thing that happened. I saw it on the television. She remember halfway that she was Republican?
Anti-nuclear family, anti-Christian, anti-Western civilization values, that if we just renege on those and we reject those, we're not going to have a country much longer. But that's precisely the point, obviously. Just look at what's going on at the southern border. These people don't believe in borders.
It's so funny that these guys are always like, yeah, look at what's going on in the borders. These people don't believe in borders. We need a nuclear family. We need to bring back Christianity. It's like, bitch, who do you think are the most Christian in this fucking country? Every fucking abuelita is coming over the fucking border with a new saint you've never even heard of, dog. What the fuck do you mean? And half of them are fucking evangelicals now, too. They're not even just Catholic. They even did the evangelical Christianity shit. It's not even just the saints that you don't know about now. Now they're the same kind of fucking mental illness type religion.
I want to think that they should be somewhere around the age of consent before we start talking about it.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume it was a little younger than that, or
like 13 or something.
Yeah, that's a little too early to be having even remotely sexual discussions.
My daughter, they're teaching her about consent.
Yeah. How old is she? Can I?
Hey, that's a good question. How old do you think she should be before she learns?
Yeah, new saint and more bones than the saints you read about. Dude, when I found out that the Catholics literally preserve the bones of like dudes throughout history that have gotten sainthood, it blew my fucking mind. That shit is so crazy. That is so metal, actually. Honestly, I respect it. I think it's cool as fuck. Think about that. Did you guys know that? Maybe some people didn't know that. I don't know. Because I grew up in a Muslim country. I didn't know that. I didn't know nothing about this fucking Catholic nonsense, okay? It's pretty cool. That's literally idolatry, though it's hypocritical. Okay, chill, dude. Whatever, dude. Idolatry, well, I idolize it, okay? Idolatry, that's idolatry. Okay, stan BTS, you know what I mean?
Learns about consent. What age?
I would think a teenager at least.
Yeah, I was going to say
it's
15,
16. Yeah, I think
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, she's 14. But
that's still.
Yep, here it is. I know exactly what photo this is. I mean, video this is. The skull of St. Thomas Aquinas. Priverno. All Abrahamic religions do some form of it despite their books forbidding it. Yeah, even the Prophet Muhammad. I remember, I think I saw his like beard or some shit. Yeah. It's obviously not real, but it's still metal as hell. I would say the fucking skull is cooler than the beard. Dudes collecting the Saint Course part like Skuna Fingers from JJK. Nah, Islamic architecture and art literally develops from lack of idolatry. Yes. Bro, Islam is Islam is overboard with that shit. They don't even do like originally they don't even do drawings of people, I think, right? But yeah, they have I think like having an entire church full of skeletons is sick, like way cooler than just like having the prophet's beard, you know? There's a church that claims to have the foreskin of Jesus, but it was stolen. Is this true? Dune isn't science fiction, it's contemporary prophecy. The plot of Dune is just what will happen after Trump is assassinated and Barron is forced to flee and join Hamas. That's awesome. I believe it. The Arabic language itself is a calligraphic art form specifically because illustrating people and other art was not a thing, from what I understand from my Saudi brother-in-law. No, it was a thing, but it was banned under Islam originally because Islamic idolatry taboo only came in the 14th century onwards. There are depictions of Muhammad. I don't think so. I thought it was like early Islam idolatry was genuinely frowned upon and was banned because, at least this is how they taught me in school, by the way. I could be totally fucking off base on this. Are you ready for this? This is I'm straight piping it, okay? This is not like theology in college. This is straight up religion class from Turkish education. There's no idolatry in Islam because the prior barbarian like tribes that were all pagan in origin believed in a whole different bunch of like weird statues and things of that nature. And because it was like really bad, because they always fought one another under this polytheistic structure, that Islam did away with that because the Prophet Muhammad showed the truth to the Muslims, and it caused the entire region in that area, as Islam like spread like wildfire. It basically brought everyone under the same socially cohesive umbrella. This is the reason why it's not even just depictions of Muhammad. It's just like literally no form of art that shows humans are supposed to exist from that era. It used to, and then Islam did away with it. Not even just like the Prophet Muhammad. No depictions of humans in paintings. I think it might have literally been any living thing. Yeah. Are you a practicing Muslim? No. Anyway. What about sculpture? Nope. No, I'm serious. I think it's like plants and shit. Plants and like fruit. Because I remember only like fruit art. Yes, all my Muslim friends only have art of text on their walls and is not indicative of whether they are more conservative or not. Yeah. So calligraphy is really important in Islam. My mother practiced it and learned it. Hat is what it's called. Hattat. My mother was a hattat. So Arabic calligraphy, and even during the Ottoman Empire, calligraphy was very important. So like that's why those signatures are fucking nuts. Like if you ever have seen a signature of like an Ottoman emperor, a padishah, like there is a whole, like there's so much complexity to it. Aniconism is the avoidance of sentient beings in art under Islam. I not only am bringing this up, but I'm telling you what their basis for this behavior was. Anyway, ultimately, it doesn't really matter because obviously as time changes, people's attitude change as well towards this sort of thing. And I do think it's like obviously ridiculous to fucking not draw human beings or whatever. And restrict art in any capacity. And I think many Muslims nowadays don't give a shit and might not even know about the origins of such a restriction or the fact that it even existed or exists, I guess, to this day. So, yeah, listen, we got mosaics. Exactly. Here's a picture of a signature of an Ottoman Sultan. Yes, this is it. Tura, the insignia of Sultan Süleyman the Magnificent. They did this with like gold too. Bro, imagine this is your signature, dog. This is your signature. Takes like 8 years to fucking finish it. Anyway, all right. Where are we? How do I get here? What's going on? I got spun into a fucking total crazy sidetrack talking about idolatry, and I don't even know how I got here from Hogwatch. I genuinely have forgotten. But the one thing I never forgot was the top of the hour ad break. That's right, baby. Now, of course, if you have forgotten, at the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. By connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, you get 1 free Prime subscription. 1453, best day of my life. Respect for that username. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. He just allowed 5 people to no longer see the ads at the top of the hour.
Young.
Coming from?
Puerto Rico.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So you're Puerto Rican?
No, I was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Okay. Where you live in Puerto Rico?
Isla Verde.
Okay. Fantastic.
Which is a great beach.
You live on the beach. That's amazing.
I have an ocean outside me, and I swim in it.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I say.
What's it like in Puerto Rico now?
Inflation is kicking our butts. The Bidenflation is kicking our butts. And my husband and I are better off than most folks. But I have to tell you the truth, there's some of my friends, I'm helping them to eat now.
To eat?
To buy groceries, to eat.
Yeah.
Because all God's children need to eat.
All right, I can understand that.
Yeah, so
everyone should get food.
Everyone should get
Everyone
food.
should have access to food, housing, health care.
All that, don't give me that Obamacare. No.
All right, yeah.
I'm on Medicare because I'm an old.
Yeah. I love that. God, she's so stupid. She's so goddamn stupid.
Crusty old broad.
You say Medicare, but I mean, yeah, because you're right. You don't want the government taking over Medicare.
Oh.
Can you imagine if the government just took over Medicare? It needs to stay within the free market.
And we have a good plan, a supplement plan as well. I'm insured up the wazoo. My husband's a specialist in insurance, and he made sure.
I've now applied that to the January 6ers because they obstructed an official proceeding at Congress. So it's quite a stretch. Over 300 January 6ers were charged with that, including President Trump was charged with 1512C2. Once that happens, I think that's going to crumble a lot of the cases, and some of the people that have had that as their most serious charge will now only have trespassing, remaining in an unrestricted building, and those types of things.
And then all of those people will now hopefully be free to walk the streets.
That would be the hope, and it really comes down to our Department of Justice, really starting to be the Department of Justice for all.
But I thought we wanted to get rid of the Department of Justice.
Well, I think that we need a lot of work in a lot of those organizations. So
you're a reformer.
Yeah.
You're reforming.
Just for the January 6ers, make no mistake. If they're black, I think they should go to prison for longer. This makes the most sense, though. I mean, we've often talked about conservatism being an incredibly selfish way to operate. And that, do you think people will believe you if you did this? I have done this before. I can't do it anymore. I do unfortunately think I'm too hated by the right, and someone would immediately clock me and tell other people who I am, and the gig would be up. I have done it, though, in the past. I think the sickest way to do this, and I have imagined this, the sickest way to do this is having someone and being in their ear and following them around with a camera, and me being in a studio, basically sitting in my regular sitting in my like regular ass setup. Kaya, no. No. No, guys, stop. She's like licking her fucking open wound, okay? That she created by licking it to begin with. Yeah, here, this is it. This is from the like full-blown stream. But there's also my YouTube video here. But yeah, here's Will and I. Oh my God, Will had the blonde hair.
Yeah, so my
Dude, look at this. Look at this. We were...
vote for Biden is a vote saying, yeah, we want all these laws to hurt children.
Now, why do you think that?
Wait, hold on. I have one more question. Sorry. So I've done some research on this as well, and I've heard that the Trump administration has also, under ICE, under the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, their immigrant removal operations, have separated kids from the border with their families. Do you know why they're doing that?
A child in the U.S. They're trying to get them to go back to their own countries. If they want to come in, there's a process. You need to go through Ellis Island. You need to learn English. You need to learn.
You're too obvious. Need an agent? No, I was cooking them, dude. Are you kidding me?
And you disincentivize people to.
Like the OG. This was the first time, at least to my knowledge, the whole like. This is where I brought to the table the whole. This is where I brought to the table the whole like comparison between like child beauty pageants. I literally, this is when I did the whole child beauty pageants comparison. The guy who organized this like supposedly quote unquote anti-pedophilia rally straight up.
What is that?
Thank you. This is
Is that shungite?
I love shungite, but this is iron pyrite.
Oh, what does that do? Does that block out the 5G waves? I got shungite all over my La Casa, my home.
This is such an old meme. Many people don't even know what this meme is, probably.
You know?
Me too. I have it on my phone. It does block out 5G waves.
You have it on your phone? Can I see?
Yeah. I have these.
I have it all around the La Casa, you know.
Tiny pyramids.
People always mistake it. Whenever I talk about shungite, they're always like Suge Knight, and I'm like, no, that guy's locked up in prison. You know?
These are my shungite.
Wow, and it says self-love on it. What is that?
I'm so glad that her phone is blocking the 5G coronavirus waves. You were painfully unfaithful. Wait, what? Bro, I wasn't even watching you until early 2021. Holy moly, and I know it. Okay, Little Bear, you literally are the lore master. Are you out of your mind? You can't compare your level of knowledge to both Twitch memes and memes in this community to like normal, newer viewers. That's insane. You are the certified HasanAbi historian. You tell me shit I forgot about. What the fuck do you mean? Little Bear will be like, no, actually, on October 17th, 2018, you actually said the exact same thing you're saying right now. Here, let me give you the clip. And I'm like, what the fuck? How do you, what? I mean, it's awesome.
The Department of Justice or reforming the FBI. We're not getting rid of them.
Yeah, Little Bear's my mentat. Straight up. Like,
I think reform is the first place. I mean, it comes from awareness. And one of the things that happened that we give credit to the January 6ers is we got an inside view of what the Department of Corrections is like and how people, you and I, if we fell into the Department of Corrections for any wrongdoing.
You know, it's funny. You talk about the criminal justice system, and I feel kind of.
Why is Hasan so good at rizzing up conservative women? Shaking my head. I'm just good at rizzing up women because that's it. It doesn't matter if they're conservative. That's why I always say it's fucking ridiculous when people are like, "You're just a feminist for pussy." It's like I do not need to be a motherfucking feminist to get pussy, dog. Okay, don't delude yourself.
Sheepish talking about it because I've spent so many years making fun of all of these leftists.
Call it a face card.
These Black Lives Matter people, whenever they talk.
That's what the kids are calling it, the face card. And this shit's not declining, okay? This ain't Amex, baby. This ain't Amex. This is working at every fucking store. I had a mask on. Yeah, my face card in that situation is being 6'4", okay? That's what the face card was. It's called being 6'4" and towering over everybody.
Talk about the criminal justice system, and now that I want to talk about it, I feel a little bit like I'm kind of embarrassed, really. After being like, oh, back the blue, there's like this sort of embarrassment, right?
But the
You
good
grew
side
your
of that
facial hair
is
back
that
and started acting different, shaking my head. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
that they've been fighting this fight for a long, long time, and it shows that people on both sides of the aisle can come together.
Yeah, that's a great thing. What would that be? What would that look like for both sides of the aisle? Black Lives Matter, Antifa, protesters saying, hey, the criminal justice system is corrupt.
Yeah. Dude, do your fucking research. When I got off Tinder, Los Angeles wept. Okay? Do your fucking research. There's two things I'm good at. Getting pussy and talking. Or what is it? Fuck, I'm fucking it up. God damn it. God damn it. What is the fucking full... Someone has to have the copy pasta. Come on. God damn. Nobody has the... Yeah. Oh, sorry. It's not even getting pussy. Non-monogamy. I am actually disappointed in this community that only one person was able to fucking come up with it and they got banned immediately. Wait, is this guy seriously saying that I can't get laid? Incredible. I will give you $5,000 if you can get some poontang before January 1st. Do you have any idea who the fuck you're talking to? When I got off Tinder because of the fucking quarantine, West Hollywood wept. Even ignoring the fact that I have a girlfriend, even if we're just talking like randos, I'm 2 hours away right now from being inside someone else. I have two skills. It's non-monogamy and speaking publicly, okay? Do some fucking research. It is far better. It's one of those things where you cannot paraphrase it to make it better. It is far better in the original Latin, okay? Yeah, that's why we got to play it. I got to do it to him.
Wait. Is this guy seriously saying that I can't get laid? Incredible. I'll give you $5,000 if you can get poontang before January 1st. Do you have any idea who the fuck you're talking to? When I got off Tinder because of the fucking quarantine, Tacoma wept. Even like ignoring the fact that I have a girlfriend, even if we're just talking like randos, I'm 2 hours away right now from being inside somebody else. This is one. I have two skills, and it's non-monogamy and speaking publicly. Okay, do some fucking research.
Do some fucking research. Like, how would you do research? What is the kind of research you would do to come to this conclusion? Like, well, I guess people did do research, which wasn't even research. He just like kind of revealed it with his folder, but oh God, I love that so much. That is perfect. That's like a perfect clip. And I don't even mean this in a way where like I'm shitting on Vaush at all. It's just such a good, perfect, beautiful moment. Trapped in time. It has everything. It's got the perfect debate cadence. You know what I mean? It's got the perfect debate cadence. Because like, this is how every debate lord is, where they're like, excuse me, where's your empirical evidence to suggest that I don't get pussy? I'm fucking people all the time. Like the confidence of a skilled orator that has bested their interlocutors in the marketplace of ideas time and time again. So good.
Corrupt. It can't be reformed. This needs to be, rebuilt from the ground up. And then someone like yourself who's on the right, who is MAGA, America First? What would that look like?
Well, for instance, Trump's First Step Act was a great step in the right direction to reduce sentences that were over the top. So that's
yeah, it's up there with chubby short stack built like a goblin. When you got one mode, when you got one speed, you just use that same debate strategy every time. It doesn't matter. You could be talking to like the cashier at In-N-Out for fucking up your order, or you could be talking to your audience about why you have lolly porn in your porn folder, or why you have a porn folder to begin with. It's always the same cadence. Like, let me tell you, with all of my intellectual might, let me give you an argument here.
one area that it can happen. We've got.
You'll have to forgive this presumed shared knowledge of goblin porn. Stop. It's so perfect. Okay, let's get back to the video. I can't stop. Oh, let's continue.
Got to recognize that the United States has the highest incarceration rate in the entire world.
It's a hyper-carceral, in these liberal cities, they got rid of bail reform. I get confused sometimes trying to keep up. We like bail reform, we don't like bail reform. I feel a bit of a dissonance.
Well, I think the most important thing is that what you're doing right here, citizen journalism, getting the information out there, getting the public to be aware, to recognize what's going on. That's the first step. We've got to see it. Once you see it, it can't be unseen.
So there's America First and there's Maui First.
Yeah, I'm Maui First.
What are some issues that they care about, that Hawaiian voters care about?
Well, a lot of the Hawaiians still
That's a native Hawaiian right there. Yeehaw.
want to become a free kingdom, so they want to go back to the original Hawaiian kingdom, and that's another dynamic that plays into it, because we're really living in a different culture there. So I like to be respectful as much as I can of their original culture, and the fact that they would prefer to be outside of the United States.
Wait, what?
So there's that.
Is she like actually? This is the most based conservative woman living in Hawaii of all time. She's like rocking a cowboy hat while saying, like, the Maui separatists got some good ideas. It's called decolonialization. Dude, these are like Nick Mullen bits come to life at this point. Okay, that's right. I'm a based Hawaiian separatist who believes in decolonialization. It's called land back. Okay, that's right. There's a hashtag on Twitter called land back.
Also creates an issue because they don't like to vote based on that, because they would prefer to have their own kingdom back.
They want to get their land. They want their land back.
Yeah, well, their land's been stolen, and it's still being stolen, and Lahaina's not looking good for that at the moment either.
Yeah, that is something.
Bro, what do you mean? By who? Lady, you. Oh my God. What the fuck? She's like, yeah, they're getting their land stolen by whites coming in from the mainland. Not me, of course. What the fuck?
With regards to, the indigenous population, and that's a whole how do you feel about that? We don't really talk about that as America First. I don't know how to talk about that.
Well, that's why we have to put Hawaiians first. They deserve to be put first. I mean, it was their state, it was their country, it was their kingdom before we took it over. So we are occupying their state or their kingdom. So they do deserve to be put first. They deserve rights, and they do deserve to keep their land and maintain their land instead of, having just the Westerners.
She's not bugging. No, I know she's right. It's just her explaining it is the bugging part. She is a white blonde lady living in Hawaii talking about the Hawaiian kingdom and land back. It's who is saying it that is making it very strange, given the context of it, of the person saying this being a CPAC attendee. Do you not understand what is like shocking about this conversation? I wonder what her thoughts on Palestine are. Yeah, she's about to be like, listen, I got that red triangle I put on my Twitter. I love watching them Hamas videos. That's right. It's called Land Back. It's like legitimately shocking.
The government just taking it from them.
Wow. That's a hot take. Wow, I appreciate that. Thank you.
I mean, it's the harsh truth, though. I mean, this happened, you know, in the late 50s. We could have prevented this. We already knew how bad this turns out when we took it from the Native Americans, from all the, you know.
To be fair, Neil Gorsuch is always down with imperialist America KKK when he talks about Native issues.
Other states and put them on reservations. We've already gone through this story, and then they just repeated it again.
What is going on? I'm caught off guard. That was crazy. Wait, oh God, I wish Walter would have asked her more about like other opinions that she has, because this is incredible. She literally said America was built on indigenous genocide. What the fuck? That I do want to know. She's like a chud unicorn. Yeah, it's awesome.
Right now, Taylor Swift, she's not our favorite person. Who are we going to use to target Gen Z to compete with Taylor Swift?
Well, you're going to have to find probably some high-profile person in pop culture, maybe someone like The Rock or Shaq. I don't think these guys are going to speak out, but I know that they're probably on the right side of the transom, both of those guys. Shaq is the most iconic guy on the planet right now. If there was some way that Shaq would come...
Bro, this dude is stuck in like 2008. I swear to God. What the fuck? What do you mean Shaq is the most iconic guy on the planet right now? The fuck? Not even 2008, like 1999. Bro says Shaq is really gonna fucking bust it wide open for us for the Gen Z vote. Bro fighting Zoomer B-ball on TikTok? Yeah. It's like, that's right. Shaq is from one of the greatest eras of basketball. And MJ. Every time they talk about how plumbers are playing basketball against MJ, I get so mad. These young guns don't know how hard the old heads had it. Back then, you could hold people on defense. That's right. I watch Kazam on my VHS cassette tapes every time, which is what the Gen Z also needs, VHS.
Come out and endorse Trump. He has, in a very soft way, done that. He said, listen, I don't always agree of how he words things, but his heart and...
It's so funny. Like, by the way, Shaq, I think his dad was a cop. Shaq is an honorary cop. So he's not wrong about Shaq specifically. But he is wrong when he thinks that Shaquille O'Neal is going to win the Gen Z vote.
And on issues, he's in the right place. That's as close to an endorsement from Shaquille.
Oh, turns out. Never mind. Apparently Shaq worked with Fannie Willis and
his heart, and on issues, he's in the right place. That's as close to
Michelle
an endorsement
Obama
from Shaquille O'Neal as you can get.
Been in the contemporary Christian genre. I have 6 albums. We did a patriotic.
I wouldn't be surprised though. His dad was a military cop, I think. His dad was a military police. He grew up on military bases and stuff. He definitely has some like right-wing tendencies.
Album, and then we veered and did Trump one that went #1 last year, and
#1 where?
I kicked Taylor Swift out of #1 on iTunes.
The amount of people that bought your music eclipsed
Correct.
Taylor Swift.
And then Billboard is the world calculation for buying.
That's so awesome. Like in her mind, she legitimately believes in her heart of hearts, bless her heart, by the way, that she thinks she's like more famous than Taylor Swift. And I think that's cool. Like, let people enjoy things, okay? Let people enjoy things. Don't ruin the vibes for this person who thinks that she is more famous than Taylor Swift, okay? And it's actually big woke media. It's a whole conspiracy to suppress how actually famous she is. It's great.
Music, and it hit the pop and country charts for a month as #2. It went
Yeah.
platinum. We gave an award to President Trump back in November.
That's
and
funny because it's a lot of conservative artists have been hitting that specific category.
Yes,
right?
I was one of the ones
and
that
you
started
can't-
that off last year.
So Taylor Swift, she's either a Democratic psyop or a member of the CCP,
right.
And she's being used to target Gen Z voters. Who do we have on our side that's going to target the Gen Z vote?
I mean, when it comes to politicians, Vivek Ramaswamy has done a very good job. When we're talking about political.
Oh my Lord. See, I told you Vivek appeals to this guy, okay? And this guy alone. Yeah, he's done such a good job. That's why he had to drop out after like never securing more than 5% of the vote.
Or rather cultural figures, I would say people like the Nelk Boys. These kind of guys that are tired of being rallied against. And in the cultural space, it really is only them.
Yeah, dude, the Nelk Boys are really leading the pack, dude. Oh my God. I do wish for a time when conservatives weren't so invested in like degeneracy. Like I do. I wish for a time, maybe it's because I'm old now, but I do wish that like we could go back to the days where conservatives would be like, no, you can't have a face tattoo. Like, are you a criminal? Do you believe in Satan? Because now it's the same fucking people with the face tattoos that are like, yeah, do you believe in Satan and the pedophilic conspiracy? I love voting for tort reform. And it's like, what are you saying? This does not make sense aesthetically. Stop. Like, you're talking about a group of fucking dildos that throw like frat parties and shit. They're Canadian. It's the worst thing you can be. What is going on?
But we need more people like, for example, Harrison Butker. I'm from Kansas, so Harrison Butker, he is a noted Catholic, and he said that the key to his success in life has been God, family, people like that. We need athletes like that.
Eddie Garcia, currently running for the U.S. Senate in Virginia, he is very pro-school choice. And in fact, he wants to pass legislation so that parents or households basically get the same amount of money and tax credits that they would get with their student going to a public school.
If you're paying $20,000 to $30,000 a year for private school,
Absolutely.
you get a
Yes.
voucher for that, and
Yes.
they pay part of that freight
Absolutely.
per head. Like, say there's like a
This is basically the Maui nationalist lady. I think she has some hope maintaining conservative project. All the Trump judges have their own little issues when they're weirdly moderate, like Pokemon typings. Third World is Gorsuch is literally my favorite of those. You know, he plays Assassin's Creed 3 all the time. He's the one I think is the most sincere out of all of them for that reason. I never ever doubt assuming political motivations for all of them, but when he's out there voting for half of Oklahoma to be put under Cherokee law, it gives me some pause. It's genuinely baffling in the face of his other positions, but he goes so far with it so consistently that I think it's totally genuine. Gorsuch normally, it's completely within an employer's rights to castrate any employee. Gorsuch on reservation law. I am issuing this ruling from Piscataway land. It's so, watch the Patreon on repeat. It is odd. It is odd when like you got a pet issue with a conservative that goes totally against their worldview. Okay? Like completely. Right-wing Gen Z is so funny. Whenever you ask them their favorite politician, it is always someone named Dixon Suck and Swallow. Yeah. Well, have you considered that Dixon Suck and Swallow is a Catholic, and he's a based Catholic traditionalist? Yeah, he's a union man. Dixon Suck and Swallow. He's a union man. Police union. No.
1,000 students, then the government, designates $15,000 per student. And instead of it going to the local public school, it goes towards a charter school, which is private enterprise.
Homeschool, yes, or homeschool, parochial school.
Yeah, and it's a very, it's an uphill battle.
Harrison Butler is the kicker for the Chiefs. Well, there you go. Base Tradcath kicker for the Chiefs.
Some ways, because I'm trying to talk to parents, and because they think when they think school choice, they think someone from a lower income area can come to my area and send their kids to school, but that's not how it works.
What we're talking about at all. No, it has nothing to do with
that. They will stay in their area. They can fix their. But think about it: school choice, and you get a voucher to go wherever you want, and it's
so
the broadness of its appeal is sometimes works against it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because especially in an area where you're paying $20,000 a year in property taxes.
It would also benefit the kids that do stay in public schools because they would have smaller classrooms.
Yes, much smaller. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, but those people will stay in their district.
Yes.
You will have your district. It's not because I don't want it.
I thought conservatives like school choice. No, they do, but he's basically trying to describe to her why she would be against school choice.
To sound like a liberal policy.
Anytime the word choice is mentioned, it's mostly conservative, other than the female issue, right?
It's literally the exact opposite.
Okay.
Other than that, we like choice. For example, national right to work, right? That's a choice. Right?
That's incredible. Oh, this is why conservatives are so good at framing their fucking restrictive opinions and their restrictive legislative agenda in a way that is perfectly liberal and for freedom. Yeah. Like, guys, you don't understand. I called my Let's Give Employers the Right to Kill Their Workers bill the employer's right to choose to be killed bill. And all of a sudden, it's great.
Not having to join a union automatically.
Like, yeah, it's a choice not to have to join a union. That's what we're doing.
Just be subjected to paying their dues. So, but yeah, when there's choice, actually, because we want less government, not more. Yeah. We want the individual to make decisions for themselves.
Although, pretty good numbers coming out of Bobby Kennedy Jr.
This guy sounds so much like Michael Pillow.
Certainly within the Democrat Party.
We're talking about RFK Jr.?
Yeah, RFK Jr.
I've been to his things, and most of the people I see there are not people that vote Democrat. I originally liked him because I thought, he's going to sort of split the vote for the Democratic Party. But he's not really splitting, peeling off people there. Most of the people there don't. They align with us. They don't believe in climate change.
You think if we get to the general election and we get RFK Jr., that it would potentially severely hurt Trump?
The people, though, that go to those things, they didn't take the vaccine, they did this, and it's generally skews conservative. A lot of people that just, in the end of the day, would just vote for Trump, I think. So
I think the more candidates you have, like Marianne Williamson, RFK Jr., and some of these other...
Marianne Williamson would peel off votes.
Yeah, I think the more candidates you have in, the better it is for Trump. I think that's just simply going to be the case.
One petition that elaborates on his bill.
He's wrong, by the way. Like, RFK literally takes more votes away from Trump than he does from the Democratic Party. Because the reality is the most important issue for RFK voters, no matter which side you're on, is anti-vaxxer. His positions are identical to Joe Biden. But because he presents himself as like an anti-vaxxer first and foremost, there are significantly more anti-vaxxers on the right-wing side that would rather vote for him, especially because they think he's like polite and a handsome man, and also simultaneously like doesn't have the Trump hangups, like being brash and a loudmouth. And a lot of conservatives also will like sometimes they don't have the same gripes that Kennedy and the Catholicism gripes that like conservatives at that time frame had back when JFK was around.
And lists a whole series of reasons why we need to defund the United Nations.
So let's go over the reasons.
Sort of
ignoring
highlights.
mass rapes of Israeli women.
Yeah, so let's start
hiding the problem of female abusers. What's that?
Correct. So we know from hundreds of studies, women are just as likely to be abusers, domestic abusers, as men are.
What's the name of your organization?
So it's the Coalition to End Domestic Violence, and we are focused both in the United States and internationally.
Oh, okay. So you want to end domestic violence?
That's where we started on this journey.
That's where you started.
Yes.
You want to end domestic violence. You want the inclusion of female abusers. How many of the abusers are, the woman in the relationship?
I think this is like the final version of being a divorced dad. I think like when you hit peak divorce, you reach this conclusion where you're like, actually, my goal is to end domestic abuse only when women are doing it to men. When men are doing it to women, it's still somehow domestic abuse towards the man, actually.
Basically 50-50. You may have heard just last week in Pennsylvania, there was a female judge who took out her gun and shot her ex-boyfriend in the head. Some studies have shown it's actually women have the edge in terms of numbers of instigating domestic violence. According to the Centers for Disease Control, women are more likely to be the perpetrators of psychological.
Do we trust the CDC though?
I think in this area, I understand your concern and point. This is actually a well-developed.
There you go, by the way. I called it and he revealed it. He's saying that in all domestic abuse instances is the woman that is egging it on. Like even if the man is the domestic abuser, women are responsible for it. That's literally what he's saying, and that's what his cause is.
Study that's recognized as being scientifically valid. We're trying to influence the policies and
what policies would
programs.
you like to see?
So, for example, let's start with the federal law. It's called the Violence Against Women Act. Obviously, that's a pretty biased law.
This is like a men's rights organization?
I would say it's not men's rights because if you care about.
Yep, he's right. Fuck, I hate it, though. Yep, why is that question mark? He's correct. Women are more likely to be instigators.
About women who have abusive tendencies.
Nobody is saying that women are not responsible for domestic abuse. Okay? Of course women can do domestic abuse. The fuck is this dumbass question? In many instances, obviously, toxic masculinity plays a role in men shutting down in the way that they are received as victims of domestic violence. So it makes them less likely to go and talk about it. It makes them less likely to actually do something about it. But the idea that what this guy is saying is that women are baiting the domestic abuse that they receive. They're instigating it, which is insane.
Wouldn't you want them to get help, get counseling before the abuse flares up and turns into a judge shooting her ex-boyfriend in the head?
It's not a men's rights organization.
Not a men's rights organization.
It's not a men's. You're not a what they call like a MRA. You're not a men's rights activist.
Yeah, no, we're not MRAs.
Not totally. That's not what this is at all.
Yeah, I'll give you an example. About an hour ago, a gentleman came to this booth right here, and he said that he had been repeatedly slapped by his mother.
Oh my God.
And then he said, but that didn't really count. That tells the whole story right there. He was physically abused by his mother, but it didn't count because he was a male.
I always say that the left thinks there's a lot of amendments written in invisible ink that we can't see.
Like what? Which one?
that you have the right to an abortion, that there's a concrete separation of church and state. All of those things are things that they make up.
That's another thing. Church and state. Where in the amendments in the Constitution? It's not. Yeah. No. There's establishment clause.
Right.
But beyond
the establishment clause, there's nothing.
No, it does not say that the church cannot vote, cannot have a voice, that religion can't have influence. Those are your citizens. But separation in church and state is a letter Jefferson wrote to a church and said, don't worry, the government is not going to oppress you or interfere with you. It was an assurance to the church they would be free.
And it's contradicted in nearly every other piece of documentation.
Yes.
We have under God in our money, and it doesn't necessarily have to mean a specific...
That was from McCarthy, and that's legible.
Not under God. I meant.
So the pluribus unum was under from many one, and then that was McCarthy changed it.
In God we trust.
Yeah. McCarthy's not he's not a great person for our side. It's kind of an embarrassment.